Hello and welcome everyone to Qualifier 4 of this SAC season. I am Pat here with Emma Slap, ready to watch the Swiss stage of this tournament. Welcome everyone!
Hello everybody and welcome to a lovely little stream. I am very excited to be here casting this little circuit here with you, Pat. You know, we and you, we've done a lot of commentary, so it's going to be great for us to get stuck into this, especially with the teams that are coming up in this first game. DistInkt, you know that I love them, you know. Let's go the British, you know, big ups. So I'm really happy to see them here in this game one. DistInkt have if you don't know who DistInkt are, they have this incredibly weird little weapon comp. They run brush, decam, a few other little weapons in there. Just not brush, sorry. They've got roller. Last I checked, it was roller, decav, bow. I meant to say, not brush, and then just a couple of other support weapons on the side. And it's like, oh, how the hell is this even working in this meta? How is it working with everything going against them? But they've somehow been able to find this little well-oiled machine that they keep running, and it just manages to go through some of the best teams.
Yep, and there we'll go against Tailwind, another team that I don't know much about, to be honest. I guess they're from NA, that's why we don't know them, Slap.
Yeah, no, we're the EU guys. They get us on every tournament where there's at least one EU team, just so we can yell about them.
Exactly, well,
hey, we're about to find out who they are in this game one.
Yeah, game one will be on Splat Zones on Crab Lake Capital. And yeah, DistInkt bringing back the bow and the roller together. On the other side, Tailwind with a much more classic comp of like the very, very solid weapons that work incredibly well together.
Yes, Tailwind electing for the Ask ChatGPT what a meta team looks like in Splatoon 3 and then picking that. But here we are, we have DistInkt already hopping that crab. Nobody been able to get this zone just yet, but there we go. 2 does go down for Tailwind, including that pen. And DistInkt are able to pick up this first blood on the zone. And it's just ticking down. We're seeing the splash go down, being staggered a little. We're seeing jumps come in, even though we have Rafa pressuring that little spot up there, but does jump out as Mooj pops those chumps.
Yeah. Very nice control by DistInkt. Now Fox coming back in there with that pencil, able to get the snipe on the opponent bow. That's no backline for DistInkt. They're forced out. But DistInkt still there to fight. That's not going to work. And the zone is going to be pink. Now Tailwind is in control. They lost 50 points. Can they do the same?
I mean, but like, mentioning earlier the team that they've got, like these weapon picks, this team is built to just completely steamroll once they've got in position there, but the Zipcaster user does go down that stamp. They were sodaed up though, so waste not, want not when it comes to that death. Their arm goes down to Rafa there using the heavy air in. It looks like we are going to lose control, and there we go. DistInkt are able to pick the zone back up. 3 of them go down successively. DistInkt are able to get straight back into this game. Arm doing a little bit of a weird jump there, maybe thinking that they'd be up on that ledge, but they were down and they are now out. We see the crab get popped on top of the grates, but DistInkt are doing a great job just keeping that zone covered, even with that pencil pressure.
Yeah, and because the slusher was splatted, the crab had no one to really help right there. And now DistInkt are staying in control over the zone, marking good points. Gabe with that stamper trying to get the splat, trying to create some space, but Gabe is surrounded by DistInkt, still able to get a splat and regroup. Huge moves by Gabe activating the zip, and that's a wipeout. Incredible play by Tailwind, who have a lead to come back from, but they did what they needed to do.
I mean, exactly, yeah, that was such a stunning play from them. We see the soda come out just now as well. All players going around for you, seeing Arm there just waiting in the ink, waiting to pop out. And here we go. Here comes the crab, but it looks like Arm is going to be going in with that slosher, trying to put him down. Afro just whiffing a couple Zuka shots there, trying to get Arm. He manages to get 2. We see the bubble go up, but we are not going to see anything come from that bubble, as it is all for Tailwind right now to just go in and clean up the staggered mess that DistInkt have become in this game. And we're seeing the points go down. Arm going absolutely insane, getting 2 picks. They're able to flick on Tiger though, able to pick up that splat there, but it's just a stray little splat. And unfortunately for DistInkt, the zone is going to tick down and Tailwind is able to take this hard-fought game 1.
That's the thing with DistInkt. They they play all in every time. They don't have a tactical. They have a very aggro play style. They want to get in the fight. As long as that fight is won, it's great for them. They're making good points. But we saw here Tailwind coming back, staying solid. And once they were in that control, once they were there, DistInkt made a few too many mistakes and paid the price.
I mean, as you said, they really like to have that aggressive sort of play style. But I'm sure they've heard this about a million different times from a million different commentators. But without Soda, you can't afford to be too aggressive, especially when the team opposite you has that ability to jump back instantly, to be able to come back from that respawn instantly. But like, as we've both said, they found a way to make it work. They know how to make this work. So maybe it's just a little bit of growing pains, just a little bit of a slow start from them coming into this first set. I mean, it's the first set of the night anyway, so there is a whole lot more to get in and play for in the rest of this Swiss set. I do believe they are going to be starting now, but we are going to be going to Clamblitz Umami Ruins. Yeah.
Another, well, open map. That's pretty good for Tailwind and their pencil, and Rafa is switching to the wiper right there. Both teams are bringing a wiper. I guess we're going to have hammers just to get under the basket. We'll see who has the better sword here.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we now have a much more aggressive DistInkt. As soon as I say that, Rafa on the wiper does go down, so that means Tailwind is going to be able to make a whole lot more headway going into this game already. We see here they already popped the Soda. That's about 3 of them that have gone down in the past few seconds. We see the crab get popped already. The entire map is colored in blue. There's barely any orange to see whatsoever. We already have the power clam up. Tailwind are acting like they've used Tailwind in Pokemon, and all of their speed has gone straight up as this game is going incredibly fast. We're seeing the jump in already. We are seeing the ball go through the, and it is a wipeout for Tailwind, absolutely rocketing by this game.
And they have more clams that spawn right under the basket. Tailwind making another super clam. That's so many points for them. 30 points remaining, and Ileana still has a few more to put in. Okay, that's the end of that push. Tailwind,
the hammer.
huge there. Okay, the hammer allows DistInkt to retake some ground right there, but I mean, 70 points in their opening push. That's huge for Tailwind.
And now we have Afro trying to get some use out of that Zuka, but Mooj goes down to Fox, who is playing absolutely amazingly on this pen. I just want to point that out. I've been seeing they have been hitting many shots. We're not just using it as a utility weapon. Fox is slaying, manages to tag Afro as well, leading to a little bit of an assist there. Tiger's just trying to get out, but no, Fox again is able to tag him on the way out. And now we have another crab set up in mid. Mooj and Rafa both go down. That power clam is all wasted there in mid as we are seeing the strikes come out. We're seeing Fox run in. We're seeing the barrier get broken once again. And we are seeing pandemonium under the basket. Ileana again able to make that power clam. 5 points remaining. Only 2 more mini clams need to go in that basket. It's one, it's wipeout, it's game. Tailwind completely just acting like they're using an Ultra Snap throughout the entirety of that game and just smashing through it, getting the knockout in quick succession. What a clinic Tailwind just ran.
I mean, Slap, you talked before the set started about how DistInkt plays a very unique comp that surprises people, but you're usually not ready for it. We saw Tailwind beat them in game 1, and then they learned how to beat DistInkt. Now it's on DistInkt to adapt and change things. Remember, this is a Swiss stage. This is play all free. DistInkt still has 1 game, 1 chance at proving their worth, at reminding us why they are team number 1 in this qualifier. But right now, Tailwind have the wind in their tail, and they are going fast.
They are going incredibly fast. It's like they've got places to be with how quickly they wrapped up that last game. But we are going to be going to Tower Control Undertow Spillway. Admittedly, a much slower mode than Clamblitz. You're not going to be able to make as quick of a headway as we saw Tailwind make in that first game. So maybe this is where DistInkt can really try and like slow the game down to a little bit more of a slower pace. Maybe try and play into how they're using that bow, just trying to make those little traps and those little crevices that people get a little bit stuck on this map and mode specifically. But I mean, hey, as you said, DistInkt is played kind of like a puzzle. When you figure that puzzle out, it's very easy to put it back again.
And one thing about this map is that it will provide cover, and given the death gaze of Fox on the side of Tailwind, that cover is going to go a long way for DistInkt. They need to use it to their best.
Yeah, exactly, which is why Mooj really needs to take advantage of that on that bow as well. We're already seeing one go down on the side of Tailwind. We're just seeing Afro try and get in with that shot again, but now it's 2 down on the side of DistInkt. We're seeing that crab already come out. Fox, as you said, with that death gaze, just looking at them, and then they go down, and we're already seeing that first checkpoint going down. But I mean, hey, we're an undertow spillway. It's going to go down very, very quickly.
I mean, Tailwind again, keeping the momentum on that they had in the previous game. They are already at the second checkpoint with all of their specials deployed to simply get more ground. Now they lost 2 players, it's 2 versus 2, as they're trying to keep the tower, but it's not going to work. DistInkt able to defend, able to deny that second checkpoint, and that second checkpoint usually decides the game, Slap.
Yes, it does. That second checkpoint is so pivotal on this map because it's such an... I wouldn't say it's an easy choke to hold, but like, it's definitely like a very good defensive point. So if you're able to get past that on the other side of the team and then just completely lock the other team out when it gets to that point in the checkpoint, you've got a pretty good chance of winning. And speaking of, we're seeing Tailwind get back to that second checkpoint. We're seeing a battle of the swords happening right now, and Gabe was able to take Rafa down, and now we're just seeing Tailwind getting chased off of the tower, actually. I thought they were going to be staying on there, but no, DistInkt, again, doing a very good job to hold that defense on that second checkpoint and not letting Tailwind get past him.
Tailwind able to get control over mid, able to push, but not able to really establish themselves ahead. This map is a bit different and allows DistInkt to get back in there. Now it's DistInkt turn to be on the attack, to be on the second checkpoint. We're just a few points away from the lead, and the bubbler is going to give them no zipcaster for you. Arm is trying to deny with that slosher, but is in danger right there. DistInkt got a huge lead with that checkpoint, Slap.
Yes, and a massive lead, especially with what we just talked about, at how pivotal that second checkpoint is in this game. Mooj really the only one up now, though, trying to trap Arm in that toxic mist there, and that was very nice from them just to really slow that attack onto that second checkpoint. We're seeing Afro go in, goes down to Arm, though, and now with that soda up, Tailwind are really looking at making some headway in this game. We're seeing 2 go down on the side of DistInkt. They're back at that second checkpoint. We might just get past it here. 3 down, the crab up as well, and it looks like we're going to get past it, and we might just get in the lead as well, Pat.
Lead is taken by Tailwind, but that's all they're going to get right now. DistInkt is again in defensive position, painting back their side of the map. Now there's a bit under 2 minutes in this game, lots more to go. Tiger activating the bubbler, that's working pretty well. 2 down onto Tailwind. And Rafa is getting the splat on the pencil. That is huge. DistInkt is on the attack, and they have a lot of ground.
Yeah, they have a lot of ground, but they do also have a lot of ground to make up to get these points here. We're seeing that hammer get thrown, a little bit of a wasted hammer going up, trying to get that crab, but it was all for naught. But we do see Rafa right now on top of the tower there, managing to just tiptoe around it enough to get back into that lead. And with a minute remaining, Tailwind, it's now up to them to get that lead. It's now up to them to get past that little position that they were trying so hard to keep DistInkt away from. That is a single tick of the tower in it. And again, all it really is going to take at this point is one good defense from DistInkt to really hold him off. But no, we see two people go down on that left side thanks to that Zipcaster coming in, getting a couple cheeky splats. We're seeing crabs, we're seeing sodas, we're seeing strikes, we're seeing everything in the kitchen sink be thrown at this tower right now for Tailwind, just to try and get that. And again, it's a single tick. It's a single tick in the lead, Pat.
Well, we can say that these two teams are pretty close together right now on this third map, but DistInkt needs to attack again. They have 20 seconds to mount a push, and now Tailwind, they're in great position to defend. They're really waiting for DistInkt to make the mistake. DistInkt already losing 2 players, Slap.
It's unfortunate for DistInkt, but here we are. I think Afro's going to try and get on the tower for a second just to put it into overtime. But it's all for naught as Tailwind are able to wrap this game up in a nice little bow with points of 28-29 remaining. Your winner of Game 3 and taking this set 3-0 is Tailwind.
Yeah, great games by Tailwind. DistInkt able to learn, able to improve in that third game, and really to show that, yeah, they could really threaten Tailwind in a way we didn't really expect in the first 2 games. So there's more to say about DistInkt, but right now it's Tailwind getting a huge victory in this first round of Swiss.
I mean, hey, like, everybody on Tailwind was playing completely out of their mind. Like, I did make a couple jokes about their weapon picks at the start of this set, because we're all a little bit too used to what we see in the current meta, but you know what? No shade at them at all for any weapons they picked, how they played it all, because they played brilliantly. We saw so much use out of that sword, just going in with that Zipcaster, just getting so many pivotal picks. We saw Fox, as we said, with that Death Gaze, with that pencil, using it more than just that utility weapon. Arm on the Slosher was playing absolutely brilliantly as well. We saw some amazing picks. We saw some amazing flicks and everything. Everyone on Tailwind deserved that win. That was a hard-fought game, but DistInkt played so well and almost managed to claw that last game back. That was a pendulum kind of game if I've ever seen one, going back and forth. So I can't wait to see what DistInkt and Tailwind do further in this circuit.
Yeah, we'll see more about all of these SAC teams right after this short break, and we'll be back with a round 2 of the Swiss stage. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SAC circuit. My name is MR Slap, back here with Pat, and today we have this round 2 for you, where we have two teams with a similar name, Freedom Dive versus Just Freedom. Pat, what do you think going into this?
I mean, we're going to see a lot of freedom on the map. And we'll start again with zones, this time on Hagglefish Market. This is very much like the classic Splatoon 3 zones map.
Yeah.
So for a tournament like SAC, seeing these teams fight each other on these classic maps is the best way to start a set. We can see what they're made of, how they want to play, because any way you want to play, you can do it on Hagglefish.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hagglefish, I've always said in the Smash scene, the stage that you always want to go to is Pokemon Stadium 2, and this is the Pokemon Stadium 2 of Splatoon. Everybody goes here. Everybody wants a gentleman to it if you are ever thinking of what to go to. This is everyone's little piece of comfort food made for a stage. Like, everyone loves this. So it's going to be exciting to see what both these teams can really come up with when it comes to this map, this mode. And I do have a little proposition for both teams if any of them are cheekily listening to the stream. Whichever team wins gets to keep the Freedom name. The other team has to axe it. That's what I'm saying. I
don't think that's something you can impose on teams, especially if these teams have freedom in their name. They're gonna do whatever they want.
They have the freedom to do what they want. My mind has been changed. USA, USA, USA.
All right, let's get into the game before you start losing your brain, and we'll see what these two teams have. On the one side, on the side of Freedom, we have a Squiffer. Meanwhile, on the side of Freedom, we have an S-Blast.
Yes, both teams here, we're seeing some quite, I wouldn't say unusual weapon picks, especially from Freedom, but from Freedom Dive, we are seeing that Squiffer come out, as you said. We're seeing that Blaster already go around that left side, and we're seeing Moxie come around with that sloshing machine, just absolutely pincering this team coming from both sides, and there we go. Soda's already up for their team as well. Freedom Dive have completely dove into this first game and are getting those first points off of the table.
Yeah, and it really worked for them. They really took control right now. The strikes, not enough to even neutralize the zone. It looks like Freedom are losing a few players. They have a tiny bubble.
No, the little baby bubble. Oh, it's so cute. You know, it's won us the game, actually. Yeah, it's won us the zone. Look at that. That bubble did so much work. We have the zone now.
It's the same amount of HP, and it's mostly the HP you care about. Freedom now in control. Freedom Dive preparing a retake.
And oh, look at that. We have the Booyah Bomb come out. We've got the Soda set up as well. We've got the strikes coming out. Yeah, you're getting nowhere near to that zone, Freedom Dive. None of you are getting close, as there we go. The lead is lost. Freedom completely ahead. Right now, we're seeing that splashdown come down, and it's 3 down. The Blaster as well in mid there goes down. The sloshing machine is just trying to make a little something from this. Lime does go down as we see Freedom Dive coming back, regrouping, getting back in mid. They lose control. They put the bubble up again. But look at that. The decap goes in for a slash, but goes down as well. Freedom Dive really taking all of the opportunities they can, and that's 3 down on the side of Freedom. Freedom Dive have gotten straight back into this path.
Yeah, very nice splats, and they don't have that much penalty slap, which means they're going to start scoring some more points now. They're getting back into this game.
Yes, exactly. We're seeing real points be taken down now instead of those pesky little penalty points that you have to sit through. And we are getting very, very close to past 21. But no, as I'm saying that, Freedom is able to take the zone straight back, put a stop to that. And now you have 45 penalty points to go down, meaning that Freedom Dive have so much more to work through to get this lead. And Freedom are doing a just as good job as they did last time at really blocking Freedom Dive out and keeping them up there in these quite precarious positions. Like, look at this angle that this sloshing machine has to get. But you know what? It's worked out for them very, very well. We're seeing that Zuka almost active as well, but oh my, the decap coming down, slashing through someone on the jump. We see the strikes come out as well just to confirm that zone for a little bit longer and make it so you can really start taking some points down. That's 16 points left on the board, Pat.
Yeah, that's more players down onto Freedom. Freedom dive. I mean, Freedom went, okay, they're able, thanks to that splashdown, to apply penalty, but there's still one player down and they're forced out. Freedom, I mean, they're happy to keep that lead. They're happy to keep control over the zone right now.
Yeah, look at that. Though. We do see the Battle of the Blasters. And there we go. That was 2 down on each side, although Freedom Dive are going to be getting back in a little bit quicker thanks to them dying out a little bit quicker in that interaction. And look at that. Freedom Dive is able to make a little bit more headway now getting that zone, but you see Pastry around that left side there. They're just waiting to come out with that decap. We see the bubble. We see the strikes come out. We see another bubble as well. We see the Zuka. We're seeing both teams throw every special they can at the wall just to try and get this zone for a little bit longer. And Freedom are the ones that have come out on top with 3 down, almost 4, but we're just seeing Moxie there having to jump out, and would you look at that, we are seeing those penalty points almost come down to 0, and it's going to take a miracle and a half of Freedom Dive to get back in this game.
Yeah, last chance for Freedom Dive. They need to get in. They have a few specials, but they need to paint the zone. The Blaster won't be able to. That's game number 1 for the Freedom.
Yes, Freedom, not to be confused with Freedom Dive, the other team in this set, were able to take this game 1. And again, we talked about it last set, but this set is like a little pendulum. It's just going back and forth, to and fro. Neither team really making too much of a headway in the game. Like that was a nail biter right down to the final seconds.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams don't have just their name in common. They were playing very similarly, of really mastering that very fast push, everybody as a team getting onto the zone. But like that, and then they were forced to let the other team have that fast push as well. Both teams had a very, very good attack, kinda struggling on the defense. But in the end, in the last minute and a half, Freedom were able to get that defense, were able to deny the push from Freedom Dive. And that's what made the difference in the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, as we saw with Freedom, they had a lovely little flow chart when it came to using their specials, really. And it was just like, are we all pushed ahead to lock them out? Okay, let's throw the Booyah Bomb. Let's throw the strikes. Let's make sure that we're all just completely locking them in. Are we attacking? Okay, let's, like, they literally just combined all of their specials into their pushes a whole lot in that set. And I feel like that's what really gave them a lot of headway, because they just always had their specials just to really fall back on, when Freedom Dive were mostly using them a little bit sparingly. Like, we saw that splashdown come out individually. We saw the bubble from the decap come out individually. And, like, we didn't really see that same kind of coordination with specials that we saw from Freedom, which really put their heads in the lead there. Yeah, coordination, the name of the game. That's how you win the SAC. Now, we're going to Rainmaker on Museum d'Alfonsino. Museum, the map that allows you to drop to the side, get a comeback anytime you want. And Rainmaker, the mode where there's one and one mission: protect the president at all cost. Exactly. I love watching Rainmaker. Rainmaker's probably my favorite mode in this game to watch, just because of how dynamic it is and how you have that one little guy that you've got to follow around for the whole game if they do get the Rainmaker. But as well, this map, I love this map as well when it comes to Rainmaker, because you can really, like, elect different play styles of playing on it. It's not really cut and dry. You have this one checkpoint that you have to go to, and then this one. It's more so like, okay, well, you can take that really fast route through the middle to get onto the checkpoint, or you can take the more scenic route around the right side and play a little bit slower. I love the dynamic on this map when it comes to Rainmaker. Yeah, lots of different ways to play. Let's see how these two teams have adapted. Not much of a change in terms of comp. What? Oh, no, I just saw Pastry did a really, really, really fast rollout to get to that bottom right as quick as possible. I haven't really seen that too much. Yeah, right now, Freedom Dive are winning the first fight. They're gonna get the pop over the Rainmaker shield.
but Freedom is already in position to defend. That blaster behind the opponent is going to get the pincer moves, and Freedom Dive, they won the first fight, but they're already in a rough spot right now.
Yeah, but look at KB going off there, able to get that jump and then still have the indirect shot that they put on the other blaster and then picking that up afterwards. That was beautiful awareness from them.
Yeah.
And now we're just seeing this game really go back to completely neutral as we're seeing both teams go for the fight here in mid. Specials up as well. We're seeing the Soda come out. We're seeing picks go down left, right, and center. But Freedom Dive are going to be the ones here that take the lead. They're trying to run past the pen. Now Moody is going to be able to get up and break that checkpoint there. What a maneuver from them.
Oh, and they keep the control of that side of the map right there. That's a repop. That's a nice bomb hidden behind the shield. Freedom are going to retake the Rainmaker, drop it to the side. They're not even trying to push, but they're very happy to have it back into mid.
And there's that splashdown again, really being used and isolated outside of their team. And it really hasn't got too much, but look at the Squiffer there, just completely taking out that Rainmaker. But the Freedom are going to be able to pick it back up in due time and get that checkpoint there. Now we're just waiting to see. There we go. They do pop the bubble. Pastry just going in instead of electing to pick it up. We're seeing Jules from behind as well. That Squiffer popping one. Do we get two? Yes, we do get two. Jules with a lot of love coming in and getting two for us. That was beautiful. Now we're seeing Moxie again with that sloshing machine, really trying to make some headway here in mid, but we do see that blaster as well go down. Moody sitting up on that right side, gets completely taken out by that decaf, but Jules again able to turn around and pop him with that Squiffer. This is absolutely amazing to see. It's not too many times where I get to see the lovely like mid to high level gameplay on a Squiffer, so this is beautiful. We're seeing KB around this left side now, trying to pick a few people up. We're seeing how they've all been marked by that point sensor. Pat, what's going on right now?
Well, right now we're pretty much back to a neutral fight, but Freedom Dive lost two players. Jules kind of forced away. Both teams are waiting to get a bit more control with two down onto Freedom. Freedom have lots of map control, but they lose all of their players, and Freedom Dive grab the Rainmaker instantly. Now it's their turn to push. They could get the lead off of that.
They could, but there's a decaf coming back around to get you. Look at that. You can never leave them unchecked. Jules just pushed a little too far ahead without their team putting that bubble down, whereas their entire rest of their team was round there getting completely sliced and diced by Pastry on that decaf.
All it takes is one splat to stop a push, and now Freedom are back on the attack, back on that platform, trying to find a way to extend their lead, Slap. And we see Lime very patient with that Rainmaker. The rest of the team is kinda down. They're going to have to move back, and that's the firepower of the Rainmaker as it's moving back, as it's waiting for the team. Right now, Freedom Dive are kinda forced to wait for Freedom to make a mistake.
I mean, but yeah, no, as you said, right now, Freedom completely has all of the headway in this game. They just want to wait this minute out, really.
Oh.
You know? Like, they're fine waiting, but no, we do see that Rainmaker push in. They were getting very, very close to the point where they were about to self-explode due to that timer on the Rainmaker running out. KB making some headway here in mid for Freedom Dive, just trying to make sure they can get back into it. They are able to bring the Rainmaker back down into mid with 30 seconds left. They really don't have too much longer to faffle about and try and get the Rainmaker through. They have to really go now.
Yeah, and Freedom Dive have the Rainmaker, have a bubbler on the checkpoint that they already have right there. They're struggling to stay on that platform, but they're struggling to keep the Rainmaker alive. Freedom are going to throw the strikes to deny any presence on the Rainmaker, and that's going to be game number 2 for Freedom, Slap.
I mean, again, Freedom were just playing so well, playing around their team so well. Like, collectively, as a unit, they were playing well. Whereas with Freedom Dive, we're seeing some great individual moments, and that's where I think that this set is really falling. you know, with Freedom able to go 2-0 up on this play all 3 Swiss set.
Yeah. I mean, Freedom are able to match what Freedom Dive is doing, but when they have the lead, once they have really that position that they prefer, they're able to slow down the pace of the game. They're able to really solidify things, make sure Freedom Dive cannot create another opportunity, and that's really been working incredibly well for them, taking control. Now, again, Slap, we're in the Swiss stage. We're in a play all 3, and Freedom Dive will have one more shot at the Freedom.
Yes, we are going to be seeing them go to Clamblitz, Scorch Gorge as well. Another one of the maps. This has been a really, really nice set for me. I love all 3 of the maps and modes that have come up. So yeah, no, Scorch Gorge again has just got that like quite big bit in the mid there, you know, like you really have to get through. It's a little bit open there, but then you have to go through that little choke point right at the top to get to that basket, because who are you kidding? Who's going to be going over those grates? There has not been a single time I've seen really anybody try and go over grates. Like ever since I've seen this map, been playing a lot on Rainmaker, ever since I've seen it in Turf War when I'm playing in a Splatfest, I don't see anyone going over those grates, so who knows if we're going to be seeing him do that. You have.
Yeah, I mean, Brush, Julies, and Decavitators can run across these grates much faster, and that's like something you have to take into account. I feel like the grates are really good per se. Like you're not gonna make a push through the grates, but you want to force your opponent to defend these grates. If your opponent is not defending these grates, they'll have all 4 players to fight you, but you can force your opponent to have someone to look over these grates at all times. And by doing so, by maintaining pressure, by maintaining the threat, you can really allow yourself to have an extra player. And like, honestly, pay attention to pastry. With a Decavitator, you can run across the grate super fast.
Another player that I would like to see try and go over those grates as well is that Squiffer, just because of how much speed they've got running about with it and how they'll be able to take some lovely vantage points from it, although I might just be yapping when I say that. But look at that, we're already seeing absolute pandemonium going on in mid here. We're already seeing, I was about to say 5 clams already, just throw a couple more to them. You've already got yourself that power clam for the push, but no, look at everyone popping their specials all at once. Freedom really want to start getting this push going, but they still haven't built up a power clam, Pat.
They took control of the map, they pushed in, and then they didn't have the clams, they stepped out of their bubble. Like the tiny little mistakes that you don't want to make that cost you a lot of points. That's only the first minute, and it looks like we're back to the drawing board, back to both teams in neutral fighting each other.
I'll say this looks a whole lot more than to the start of the game than what we just saw as the actual start of the game.
Oh no!
Oh no, indeed.
Oh, that is so sad. The waste of the Tacticular by throwing it under the grates. I've lost several Tacticulars to that. That is so infuriating.
Oh no, they are going to be kicking themselves over that. But you know what? Freedom Dive right now with that power clam, with that bubble up, with the Zuka. They looks like that they're going to be trying to get their first headway into this game. But no, they are unable to dunk that power clam. And yes, they are. They are able to do it. I genuinely thought that would not be the case, but here we are. We have KB as well, pressuring that pen, is unable to get it. Moxie now is going to try and come up, gets 2, but is unable to dunk anymore in that power basket. Can we see 3, though? Yes, we do. Moxie is going absolutely insane right now. Now we have Moody going over those grates that I mentioned earlier, just getting a little bit of pressure there, putting some ink on the floor, as you said, making them look up at those grates. But you know what? Here we have Freedom really coming back in, but they are just getting staggered. But speaking of, Freedom Dive do have 2 down, so I do believe that is going to be the end of their amazing starting push of this game.
I mean, you say amazing starting push. They got so many splats, but they only got 20 points again. Both of these teams able to get under the basket, but can you turn that into good points? Pastry was in there and got into an extra fight. The rest of the team was not ready to get in. That's why Clamblitz is such a test of coordination for teams. That's what makes Clamblitz so hard to play. 2 minutes left in the game, and a single Super Clam has been put in a basket.
Yeah, no, indeed. Like, I have seen so many Clamblitz games go to overtime on 100 to 100. Jules, sorry. Jules, I love it when you hit those. Can we hit some more of those, please? No, they go down after putting the bubble up. Story of my life when it comes to playing a weapon with the bubbler. Supposed to protect you, but you put it up and you're already down. But here we are, Freedom have that power clam up there. They've got that pity clam as well as we get into the fleeting moments of this game. We're about to be at 1 minute 20 seconds left. Moxie pulling out that Zuka now, trying to get a little bit of leverage off of this as well. We are seeing that blaster come in as well. We're seeing the push come out from Freedom. Are they going to be able to get anything here? We do see the bubbler, we do see the strikes, but we don't see a power clam come to the basket.
And the lead is taken by Freedom by a clam. A few more are coming as well. Freedom, with a slow and sustained push, were able to get a few clams in. They jump out. Freedom Dive able to reestablish the defense. I mean, Slap, in the first 2 games, we had the 2 teams really able to push forward but struggling to defend. This game is the opposite, with both teams really taking control over their basket.
You know, exactly. Like, we're just seeing this heavy defensive gameplay come out from both teams, where neither of them have really been able to take any points off the board at all. But you know what? It's a testament to this map again, really, how you have, like, it's such a small little choke point that you really have to use everything to fit through. And Freedom have done so well. You know, I love the awareness on Freedom right now to specifically get to 68. I don't know if they meant to do that at all, but that means if Freedom Dive is able to get their Hail Mary 1 power clam into that basket again, it'll go to 70, meaning that they won't take the lead. They'll have to get another clam into that basket.
Yeah, Freedom Dive right now, preparing a push, trying to find a way in. Jules with the Squiffer, dancing around, forced away. Freedom holding the control. Jules is running in. There's a bubbler, but the bubbler is too far away from basket, and it's too late as well. Freedom taking game number 3.
We've just seen, like, the same set twice, really, how it's been, like, one team getting both games back to back, and then we see an incredibly close game 3. Like, there was genuinely only a few points in that, and either team really could have taken that last game with how much headway either of them made. But Freedom was just able to get that little bit of the lead afterwards.
I mean, we had really both teams struggle to make the points once they were under that basket, and that made things slower, that made things harder for both teams. But in the end, Freedom able to really take that control, able to do what they'd been doing this whole set, of finding the one moment where they can control the whole map and then holding the map from now on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Freedom, again, you said that Clamblitz was a testament to coordination and stuff, and I do believe that both teams really couldn't find too much of that coordination going into that game 3, just again with how tricky that map and mode is to get around. But Freedom was showing in the two games beforehand that they had that coordination with their specials, they had that coordination with their team, and Freedom was able to prove that again in game 3 and take this nice little 3-0 sweep.
Yep, very well played by Freedom. Now, this is not over for either of this team. We're in the Swiss stage. We'll have more to watch right after this break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. We are now in round 3 of SAC Qualifier 4. There's more to watch, and this time we're going to watch two teams with a different name, Slap. It's going to be Ethereal Flutter versus StarZ Impact.
Yes, Ethereal Flutter and StarZ Impact. Again, a couple teams that I am not the most knowledgeable about at all, unfortunately. But hey, I am here to learn, and I'm sure both of these teams have so much to offer us going through this. We are going to be starting on Splatzone's Mako Mart. Again, this tournament is giving me everything I want because I love this map and mode.
Yeah, it's very much a fast map, a small map where you're constantly in a fight, constantly ready to come back from all angles. I mean, it's been a fixture of Splatoon since it came out during Splatoon 2, and it's been very much the back and forth, always having some action map, and we love to see it. Now let's get right into the game, Slap. And let's
look at that coordination with the splash tags. Did you see that? All of them had the same splash tag, and all of them had like one weapon that they 5-starred on it. That is a real team right there, showing that off.
Yeah, that's nice. And right now we see Ethereal. They bring a heavy splatling. We don't usually see that splatling, but it looks like that's what's going to be played by Clara.
I didn't even realize that. I was too busy focusing on splash tags, but yeah, no, I'm well excited to see what this heavy splatling can do against its heavy edit counterpart that we are a lot more accustomed to seeing in this current meta of the game. Speaking of, here we do have that heavy edit going down to the wave breaker, I believe, and StarZ Impact now might be going on the back foot a little bit, as there we go, the zone has been lost. The decap coming in, getting that nice little critical hit with the blade of the sword. And here we are now. We are just seeing Ethereal Flutter really getting into this, putting that wave breaker down again, making sure they can see everyone on the map. The squeezer right there, showing why it is the superior splatting weapon. Having a little bit of trouble jumping up onto that block there. But you know what? It's just a little bit of a detour as here we are. Ethereal Flutter taking the lead.
And they're holding the lead right there. StarZ Impact are struggling to come back in, and that's the power of a good backline on the weapon they're comfortable on. They can simply hold the ground so well. Nightmare activating the crab above the zone, chased away by everybody from Ethereal. Ethereal not minding the crab and the booyah bomb at the same time. They keep the zone, Slap. They simply keep the zone.
I mean, hey, that booyah bomb was shot way far back on that zone there. And instead, I think they just believed that they'd back because they saw the crab come out. But no, Ethereal Flutter said, okay, I see your crab. We're now all going to come and crush that crustacean. We're going to get that the hell out of here. And there we go. That is exactly what happened. The booyah bomb whiffed. Nobody home. We saw the wave breaker and we saw the bubble come out at the end of the game there. Nice little fist bump coming out there as well. What a lovely little game to wrap up there by Ethereal Flutter.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was very much the confidence that Ethereal Flutter had to stay on the zone, to go ahead despite their opponent activating their specials, that allowed them to keep the control and completely crumble that push that StarZ Impact was trying to set up. And very much the whole team working as one to stay in control of the ground, of the map. That's how you play Splatoon, Slap.
Exact. That is Splatoon indeed, Pat. They really, honestly, Ethereal Flutter just really got into their gear, you know? They just got into their gear. They found the way that they wanted to play the game and just completely ran through it. And then here we are. We're going to be going back onto another one of the staples of the game, Pat. Another one of those maps and modes that you see quite often. We're going to be going to TC Inkblot Art Academy.
Hey, Slap, did you notice we have 3 Splatoon 2 maps?
Oh hell, we're playing Splatoon 2 now. Okay, let's break out the ink armor. And let's break out the Stingray as well. Let's bring everything back for Splatoon. Can we just run the rest of the set on Splatoon 2, actually? Can we do that? Is that a thing we're allowed to do?
Well, I feel like Ku with a decapitator on the side of Ethereal Flutter might have something to say about that.
I might have a few words about that, actually. Maybe not. Maybe not. Honestly, imagine if the decaf was in Splatoon 2. Like, it'd probably have Ink Armor since it's got Bubbler. Oh no, I don't even want to think about that, actually. Let's move on to this game too, Pat.
Yes, and we are indeed still in Splatoon 3 with these weapons that we know, and S-Blast on each side. So both teams are very much in Splatoon 3.
I mean, I just want to say as well, we have hopped off of that order heavy splatling, meaning that we are losing that wave breaker in the sprinkler, and instead we are going to be going on to the headit. Not the headit. So I'm so used to just calling it a headit, the heavy edit. We're just going to be going to the heavy splatling deco with the Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken can stay on the tower or jump on the tower. Very good for both attack and defense. But right now it's StarZ Impact getting on the tower, getting momentum, passing the first checkpoint. And here comes the Kraken. The Kraken is going to cancel
I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Oh my. StarZ Impact have wiped out Ethereal Flutter, but I love how when you do that charge attack up a wall, it acts like a little squid surge. It goes up and it just destroyed the Booyah Bomb. That's a clip and a half for later, but StarZ Impact are just not letting it go to mind whatsoever. We're seeing that decap come in, put an end to the dualies up there. And even though you've got Jojo and Crater all up in the backline of Ethereal Flutter, they were not near that tower whatsoever. And now it's Jojo just trying to get back onto the tower, trying to be like, no, come here, you stupid dog. Come on, we're walking you this way. And just trying to get the tower back on its path. But Ethereal Flutter maybe have just saved the game by stopping it for that few seconds, because they're about to get to the checkpoint here. But it's 2 down for StarZ Impact, 3 down for StarZ Impact. They're at that checkpoint 3, but Ethereal Flutter can finally start making some headway now.
Great opening push by StarZ Impact. Really getting to 20 points from the lead, from the KO in the first push is very much a good move. Ku now trying to get in with that decaf, activating the bubbler and dying instantly. We've seen that before. Sad.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, story of my life when you're playing a weapon with the bubble. You go in, you try and use it aggressively, and there you go. You just die in the bubble and don't really get too much out of it. But again, you know, it's just what happens, really. You expect it at some points, and it's not really a fault to a player whatsoever. But here we are. We're going back into this right now. We're seeing 2, 3 down in each seat. There we go. The wipeout is coming out. Jojo able to clear up the rest of Ethereal Flutter and just making sure that they were the team that can get back in this game with that tower. And here we are. The Booyah Bomb coming out. Just pushing that heavy a little bit further back, but Ethereal Flutter are getting back into mid. Now, the zap does go down, though. We're not going to be seeing a cooler anytime soon. Speaking of cooler, StarZ Impact were able to get their own online, but we are seeing that decaf once again really putting some pressure in on that right side, is able to get the shot, but they are going to be coming back rather quickly thanks to having that soda, and they will be coming back with that Zuka as well. But we do see the Kraken come in, and here we are, Ethereal Flutter finally making it to that first checkpoint.
Yeah, they're on the checkpoint and they have their bubbler very up high in the plat, but oh no, they lose all of their player. All they're going to take off of that push will be the first checkpoint. That's a start. That's already a few points. Now they need to get momentum in the next time they push.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, this is one of those maps that is rather good defensively as well. It's like both attackers and defense really has a lot of like ups and downsides. But because this map feels rather claustrophobic when you do play it, it's not like it's open, but it's like it's thin, if that makes sense. Like it's a little bit stocky. You know, you feel like you can't really move too much forwards and backwards. You can move to the sides a lot, and that's what makes it feel that little bit more like claustrophobic to get through.
Yeah, right there, StarZ Impact not able to get back on the platform, not able to set themselves for control. Nightmare is still to the side and don't know if Ethereal Flutter know where they are. Oh, well, they know now. Ethereal are going to bring the tower forward and completely obliterate that crab, but they needed to keep a few players back, as now they are pushing on that platform, getting in. They have control, they have momentum. Slap, this could be the comeback by Ethereal.
This really could, though, but we see the sword go down, the heavy dropping down, but going down as well. We're seeing the decaf jump back on the tower. A nice little pickup with the bomb there, but it might be too little too late. We do see the soda come out. Ethereal Flutter really have to get in. Back on that tower now with 10 seconds left. We're back on the tower, but it doesn't really look like we have too many specials coming up. We are about to have soda, but can we stay alive for that soda to be an impact? No, we can't. We have only the decaf up now. Are we going to see him jump on the tower in time? No, we are not. StarZ Impact are going to make this the first set on stream today. It is 1-1 as we go into this game 3 to decide who wins this play all 3 Swiss set.
And we very much so, both teams have their strength, have their control. On Macomart, Ethereal Flutter really able to take control of these ledges to deny any push in by StarZ Impact. But on tower control, StarZ Impact coming back with more action, being able to push stronger, not letting Ethereal really set themselves onto the map. And now we are 1-1. Now all is going to be decided by the next game between these two teams. I mean, and we are going with the fastest game mode, that is Rainmaker.
And the fastest game mode on what could be one of the fastest maps, because this map is this map and mode genuinely one of the most snowbally maps that you can see, just because it's so easy to really like get in on that after that first pop. If you take the team down, it's literally just a straight shot down to that first checkpoint. You can just take a nice leisurely stroll over to it if you want. Or you can be tricky and try and go around the left side, but you barely see anybody ever do that, so it's a nice sight to see. But it's, again, this is one of those maps that we could see end really, really quickly, so let's just get straight into it. Our Game 3, our first decider that has come through in this Swiss Sage map.
Yeah, decider is going to be key for both of these teams, and I mean, I'm not sure what. If there was a roller of or a slusher, I'd be saying look out for the roller. I guess blasters will get the edge on this map.
Yeah, the blasters I feel like will definitely be getting quite a bit of an edge on this map. The decav as well might be able to jump up, poke around those ledges, catch some feet, you know. But here we are, we're starting off both teams really starting with a player down each, but we are seeing decav, that coup, coming in, getting 2. We might even see 3 here, but no, we do see that roll, we do see the dualies being a little bit tricky, dancing around, jumping around, rolling around, able to get 2 as well. Creator trying to get in now, but you do have that Splatling back there, just really holding that last line of defense. And here we have that crab come out, just really making sure that the Rainmaker is going to be able to A, take the lead, and B, get to that checkpoint. We did also see the Zuka come out, but Ku putting that bubble down, saying like, no, no, we need to stop it here. We can't let him really get any further. We do see the Headit go down. Ku jumping back out to the bubble. We see the Squeezer go down. Ku jumping around, just trying to get a few hits onto those players that were marked there thanks to the point sensor bomb. And now we see Cancer Blob able to pick up that Rainmaker, but with 2 down, Ethereal Flutter might not be able to go far.
I mean, they grabbed it just to keep StarZ Impact from grabbing it themselves. That gives a free pop to StarZ Impact, who are still at that elbow, who are still looking for a way in. The Zuka didn't find their opponent, but the Rainmaker found. 37 points left, and it's still not over. They're still pushing the God's Wreck.
Yeah, they're still pushing. We're still seeing somebody in there, the S-Blast, but they do go down. And there we go. We see Rusty trying to fire off with that Squeezer, but loses that 1v1 there. We do see the heavy Splatling going around the right side with this Rainmaker now, just trying to be like, hey, everybody, look over here. Come chase me over here. Please look this way instead of coming all the way back into our spawn with the checkpoint as well. Please And it is working, as we're seeing Rusty right now going around trying to get another splat there, as their head it was just being a little bit too tricky for him. We do see that Rainmaker finally drop down, getting into mid. Are we actually going to see them get to the checkpoint? No, we are not, thanks to that decal. We see the Booyah Bomb as well, just getting ready to pop that bubble there. We do see the Zap jumping down as well, throwing that Soda out. We do see Soda online. Rusty now unable to get the pick there, but landing a few shots. But no, here comes Zuka. Gets one, gets two. And what a lovely shot from that Zuka there, Pat.
That Zuka absolutely stopped the game. Allowed StarZ Impact to get so much, but Nightmare is the last line of defense with his Julies right here, able to stop the Rainmaker. They have the Crab ready, but it's not going to be enough. Ethereal gets the checkpoint and punish the Crab. If they get the Repop here, they can keep going. They can keep going.
They can, because you know what? That was a lovely use of that bomb being just popped off of the Rainmaker shield there, and was able to get a splat on the what was the last line of defense in front of the bubble, meaning Ethereal Flutter. I was about to say Ethereal Impact. Ethereal Flutter. Now the ones that are trying to push this Rainmaker a little bit farther. S-Blast jumping down, uses that Booyah Bomb in mid, just making everybody really look at them. Oh, we're going to see it. No, we're not. 24 points remaining when they needed to get to 23, but we're seeing that Heavy spiraling in the decaf. Both of them are still up. We're seeing both Heavies shooting at that Rainmaker shield. We do see the bubble get popped, but there we go. We do see the head it go down with the Rainmaker. Now it's all for Ethereal Flutter to play for. They jump, they get it, and they do. They don't get the lead. I thought they got the lead, but no. StarZ Impact, which is able to walk forward with the Rainmaker enough for them to still have it. No, the head it goes. The head it was able to get the pick on the Zap, and we do see the 49 seconds remaining. StarZ Impact are looking so good going into the latter stages of this game after that insane holdout, Pat.
Oh, did they do it? How do you keep a lead here? Incredible scrambling defense by StarZ Impact. Keep the lead by a single point. And now Ethereal Flutter, they have 20 seconds to go in the awkward corner and take back the Rainmaker. It's going to be so rough. They manage to get a splat. They have Rusty there in position, but Rusty's already splatted. They need to take the Rainmaker. They need to take it fast.
They need to get pop here. They do. They go. They pick it up, but they go down. And there we go. StarZ Impact is able to take this game and this set 2-1 after. I cannot believe that happened. For anybody that was looking away from the screen, and just to really recap what happened there, we saw Ethereal Flutter get to 24 out of 23 points remaining with that Rainmaker. They were able to stay up. They were able to keep going. They were able to pop the bubble, but we saw somebody, I think it was the Heavy Edit on the side of StarZ Impact, who grabbed the Rainmaker and walked a little bit forward with it. And that little bit forward is what saved them the game. That tiny little bit forward saved it, because we saw Ethereal Flutter able to get the Rainmaker back and then walk that tiny little bit of distance back to 24 points when they needed 23. I cannot believe the ending of that game. That was, oh my lord.
I think both teams had panic mode in their comms at that moment. It was so close for so long, with everybody super jumping back in, getting back on that Rainmaker, fighting for that one single point. The fight was won by StarZ Impact, who win this round 2-1, but very nice showing by Ethereal Flutter. We'll see more of them soon. And we'll be right back, Slap, with the final round of the Swiss stage.
Yep, see you all soon. Right then, hello everybody and welcome back to the final round of the Swiss stages here in the SAC circuit. I am MR Slap back again for the final time tonight with Pat. Pat, how are you feeling going into this round 4?
I am feeling great. I'm eager to watch some more of these awesome SAC teams that we have today, Slap. And we're going to watch Chronically Rusty versus Pringle Cat. And if you can watch on send you the logo for Pringle Cat, that's a cat in Pringles.
Specifically the sour cream ones, the green tube of Pringles. It's a very, very nice picture. And I do want to say, we've gotten to the point of the tournament where we're seeing like two standards when it comes to Splatoon teams. One of them talking about like how washed they are, being very self-deprecating. And then the other one just being some stupid name from like a picture or something. So we've gone to that point of the tournament, and I absolutely love it. That's what I'm here for. I love silly little names with random little pictures. I think that's my favorite genre of Splatoon team. But anyways, I can't wait to really get into this, you know. I'm really excited. After the 3 sets that we've just seen, I cannot wait to see what we're going to be seeing going into this one. And I do believe we are going to be getting into it right now. So for the final time, let's get into this Game 1, Pat.
We start, of course, with Splat Zones, this time on Ship-Shape Cargo Company. And I see an Explo coming from Chronically Rusty. So that's... Oh wait, or is it Pringle Cat?
No, it's from it's from Pringle Cat. Oh wait, no. Oh no, it's from Chronically Rusty. It's a little bit swapped here on the stream, but there we go. We've got the right colors up on the overlay now, and here we are. Neither team really getting a pick just yet. There we go. We do see one go down for Pringle Cat, and Chronically Rusty is able to get first blood here on the zone, getting it down to 90 and just going a little bit more, Pat.
Yeah, very nice opening by both teams. Chronically Rusty, nice splashdown onto the zone. We're still fighting for it, and it looks like Chronically Rusty are not able to set themselves up right there. Pringle Cat are holding and are now going to get the lead and force Chronically Rusty to prepare a push.
Yes, here we go. Pringle Cat fully making some headway now. We're seeing that stamp come out. Gets 2, throws the hammer, gets a third. There we go. Absolutely lovely to see from that newly buffed hammer. I say newly buffed. I feel like the patch was just yesterday, but it's probably been a lot longer than that.
It's been a while now. We're getting used to it, and the Pringle Cat are playing off of it pretty well now. 30 ticks left onto the zone. Chronically Rusty are pushing in, trading a few players, losing a bit more. Rye is on the zone trying to get in, but it's a wipeout by Pringle Cat. I mean, that's game. Well, that's game. That's it.
Literally acting like a judge and putting the hammer down on this game. There we go. Zuka comes out at the end just for a little bit of an exclamation point if you needed another one.
They're dead. You can stop.
They're already dead, but Pringle Cat just have to put a little bit more dirt into the wound. And there we go. That is 1-0 for Pringle Cat.
Yeah, very nice. Opening by Pringle Cat. Chronically Rusty. Not really managing to... They won a few fights, but they were not able to take control of the ground. They were not able to paint around themselves as they were winning these fights, which meant they were not able to push Pringle Cat away. Pringle Cat, I mean, they did the job. They did the job so well. Took control and stayed there.
I mean, 100%. Like, especially with that Explo as well, just able to do all of that work from the behind and just like getting so much ink and just so much pressure on. And then as well, when it came to getting that, just getting the zone inked back up as well, you just had that splashdown. We saw it just going completely into the middle of the zone and just just flipping it straight back to neutral and very heavily in the favor of Pringle Cat. Pringle Cat just had so many opportunities in that last game and took every single one of them with glee. And I just want to point out that hammer did so much. That wiper worked overtime for their team there.
Yeah, I mean, an aggro wiper that's able to be confident and get away with a few good fights can create a lot of momentum for a team. And Chronically Rusty not able to stop that momentum. Now going into Clan Blitz, Slap, we've seen Clan Blitz before. It's going to be a test of the coordination of these two teams, and we'll see which team is able to make it work.
Yes, we will going into this game now, and we are still basically seeing the exact same teams going into this next game, although I do not believe that we saw that splash last time, did we?
I don't think so, no. Yep, so that splash I think might be new, but yeah, I mean, on this map, having a crab tank option is so useful. Crab here controls the space so well, and right now both teams fighting left and right, trying to get the edge right with the Stamper, simply moving to the side, waiting under the ledge as Pringle Cat are already preparing a push.
Yes, like that. We've got that hammer set up and ready to go as well. We throw the ball down, and I do believe that means that we are going to be seeing a nice push from that Wiper very, very soon. Here we go. Hammer comes out, but it goes down. It gets denied. We see the bubble up as well, but the shot goes down, and that means that Pringle Cat really isn't going to be able to get too much out of those two specials that were just used. They do pop the soda though, just to really try and get aggressive. They have a power climb up. It's still all for them to play for and get aggressive. The roller goes down. Nice shooting by that S-Blast there. But it's time for Chronically Rusty to really start having a push now. They throw the Booyah Bomb down, but it's two down on either side here, Pat.
I mean, and they lose the power climb right there. Pringle Cat are in danger suddenly. Chronically Rusty, very patient, very much in control of this map, as Pringle Cat are kind of struggling to get back into mid right now.
Yes, as you say, and they look, we have that crab online for when Narco really wants to start getting busy. That's two down on the side of Pringle Cat as well. Forced to go out. We see a jump come in. Choreo unable to punish it too well. But here we have that Explode trying to get a little bit of headway forward. Really start trying to use that long range and high damage to effect. We're seeing right now they have Zipcast, and they do have the splashdown online. Head it goes down. WC Stein right now trying to get around with that Wiper. Goes down as well before they can use Hammer. This could be big for Chronically Rusty.
I mean, Chronically Rusty, again, maintaining pressure. They have the clams, they have the position. They need a few extra specials to get in to break the defense by Pringle Cat, and that's two down. Pringle Cat, here comes the Booyah Bomb. Everybody booyahs for the way in. As right now, with the stick on the roller, that roller stomped the push single-handedly.
Yeah, that roller was just able to put just enough pressure to stop Chronically Rusty from getting too far forward, but here we are. Red goes down, but is able to throw that the clam into the basket there, and they are able to deliver one single mini little clam into that basket, just to make sure that it's not too much of a wasted push, just getting past that single power clam barrier.
It's not much, but that's already that. With only 2 minutes left in the game, this could be our only push that we see Slap right now. Chronically Rusty are back in the control of the map, and the hammer is creating the opportunity. That's two down onto Rusty. Pringle Cat going in, opening the basket. They have more clams. That's another super clam to take the lead.
And they do have that Pity Clan back in the base. We see Elias pick it up, jumps in over to JP. Are they going to be able to get around the dunker? Yes, they are, with a nice little bit of movement, goes around and is able to dunk it in there. Look at that, from 100 all the way down to 31 points remaining. Yeah. Pringle Cat has really taken this game by the horns.
I mean, and they struggled for the first half of this game to really set themselves up, get any momentum, but right there they ran all of them under the basket, got 3 super clams in, and now it's on Chronically Rusty to take back control, to prepare their slow push. That's a nice splashdown. That's 2 down onto Pringle Cat. The roller is forced to jump out. Chronically Rusty are going to get another way in. They need to push. They need to open that basket.
The mechanics on the players from Pringle Cat are so good. I've just been seeing so many like pivotal squid rolls that saved that saved the power clam over there getting in, and then also just saved -2 the head it from dying to that booyah bomb. Like, genuinely, the awareness on these players is insane. Look at that. We see the splashdown come down from Red, taking that hammer down now with 15 seconds remaining on the clock. This is basically going to be the push that Chronically Rusty needs to stay in this game and stay in this set.
Yeah. Chronically Rusty, they can't hesitate anymore. They need to create the push, the opportunity, and right now they're struggling to get in. Pringle Cat defending so well, 2 down, a wipe out, and that's Pringle Cat taking a second point, taking this game, and putting another clam in the basket just for good measure.
Yeah, there we go. Pringle Cat is able to take this set 2-0. But remember, everyone, this is play all 3 Swiss, which means that we are going to be seeing one more game to see if Chronically Rusty can get back in this and prove why that start of the game was so close-knit.
Yeah, I mean, Chronically Rusty were doing incredible thing, were playing very well, well-coordinated, but in the end, when it mattered, they hesitated. They took their time. They wanted to wait to have everybody in the perfect position, to have everything perfectly aligned. And you can't hesitate in Splatoon. You can't wait in Splatoon. You have to seize the moment. Pringle Cat were able to punish them for that hesitation, come back in, and Pringle Cat, they got one push in that whole game. It was so fast. And they got all the points in, and that's all they did. There was a single minute during that Clam Blitz game where Pringle Cat was in control of the map, and they scored 70 points.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely insane. They got a whopping 3 whole power clams into that basket. Yeah, now we are going to be going to Hagglefish Market, everyone's favorite little place, but instead of going to zones, we are going to be going to TC, which is another map mode combination that I know a lot of people are going to be happy with.
Yeah, TC, I feel like that has to be good for Chronically Rusty, who were able to really set themselves in control, and if they play Tower Control the way they play Clam Blitz, they will get momentum, they will get special advantage. This is how you want to play in Tower Control, so this is a good opportunity for Chronically Rusty to really take a point off of this Pringle Cat.
Yeah, no, exactly what you're saying there. This map mode combination really lends itself to that slower style of gameplay, really holding that defense a little bit more. And just using, like you said, the play style that Chronically Rusty had is going to go a whole lot further if they are able to take control of this tower here. And again, they have such a good defensive team right now. Did you see the X-Blow? They've got the Splash with the Crab, they've got the Stamper, and they've got that S-Blast. That is beautiful. Just holding that defense. And again, this is another one of those maps where getting past that second checkpoint will go so incredibly far from how good of a defensive advantage that second point has. And that's 2 down in a split second on either team. We're seeing Chronically Rusty take that tower for a second, getting to 99 and holding it there for a second. The Exploit is able to dispatch of the roller there, but Pringle Cat is able to get the lead and get back on the tower, and it's only really Rai up in mid now. We see the Zuka come up as now, trying to get Choreo, who was up on that little pavilion there, that little canopy, and Elias now just trying to get a little bit far forward as we get to that first checkpoint. Pringle Cat not taking a single second as Red goes down to the Booyah Bomb now. What a lovely little throw there.
In Pringle Cat, riding their momentum, getting more and more with the bubbler on the tower. They're gonna get the checkpoint. They just need, that's checkpoint 2 already broken with the first minute of the game, and they're at the final checkpoint slap.
That was the clutchest roller and bubble that I've seen in a while, just coming straight down onto the tower and having that bubble ready, instantly getting a splat and putting that bubble out. And the one thing that Chronically Rusty is missing, if they don't have a splashdown, if they don't have a crab, they don't really have anything that's too good at shredding bubbles.
Yeah, right there. bubble. It really gave the KO as the tower is taking its sweet time to get back into mid. Pringle Cat is already setting up ambushes. They know all they need to do right now is not make too many mistakes, not let Chronically Rusty take momentum. And Pringle Cat is back on the attack. They're back on that tower. And I mean, they're pushing in, Slap.
Pringle Cat is back on the attack is such a funny line. I could not get that. I could not let that one go unnoticed. But here we have the crab popping out and putting a stop to this Pringle Cat. This devious little creature that's taken the tower. And there we go. That's 3 down as Chronically Rusty really get back into mid now. And they really need to start getting that, like, all of that pain down in mid. They really need to start taking a bit more of a vantage point here. We're just seeing them right now. We have that splashdown bag. Red. We are seeing the Booyah Bomb come out from that sloshing machine. Not the sloshing machine, sorry. That's the sloshing machine's on the other team. We're seeing from that S-Blast as well. And here we go. That's 2 down on Pringle Cat. But we are seeing 1 go down. But it was the roller from behind as well. Right now, pushing a little bit forward. And we are going to be getting to that first checkpoint very, very soon. If you're Chronically Rusty. And they might just start making that headway that they so desperately need in this game, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first checkpoint broken by Chronically Rusty. That's another splashdown to maintain some space. The Zipcaster is going in by Rai. That's 2 down onto Pringle Cat. Chronically Rusty, they're doing it. They're on that second checkpoint. They're ready to tie up the score. And they're going to get through it. The 2 teams are in the same checkpoint. And Chronically Rusty are still moving forward. 2 down, still 3 down. That's a wipeout. Chronically Rusty getting the lead, getting back with a KO, showing us what they are able to do.
I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that. What? Chronically Rusty just took this game and completely turned it onto the top of its head. I can't believe that.
I mean, we saw Chronically Rusty getting better in game number 2. We knew they had the potential to really take control of the map. In tower control, once you have the control, once you're ahead, you get that extra momentum. That's really going to work. And Chronically Rusty, once they had the control, once they were in there, they stayed there, got straight to a KO. Patience paid off. I mean, it's bittersweet because it's 2-1, but it's still a very, very nice game by Chronically Rusty.
I mean, my jaw's been agape this whole time. I can't believe that. Like, from a game that was so Pringle Cat from minute 1, from push 1, Pringle Cat was just going, snowballing through Chronically Rusty. But as we both predicted, if Chronically Rusty got some headway in this game, they'd be able to take it all the way to the end. We both made a point saying that Chronically Rusty would find a little bit of a better time going into this. And they did. They did once they were finally able to get that.
Yeah, they did indeed. Now, that's Chronically Rusty is not going to advance. Pringle Cat will advance thanks to that victory onto silver bracket. So congratulations to them. They'll get to play more SAC qualifier today. But we don't, Slap. That's going to be it for us, and it's time for us two to say goodbye. But before we do, where can I find you if I want to find what you're doing on the internet?
If you, for some reason, would like to find what I am doing on the internet, you'd be able to go to twitter.com and look up m_r_slap, and you'll be able to find whatever little ramblings I want to post on the internet that day. Or if you want to see me post on Blue Sky once in a blue moon, when I have it, you can find me on jammerslap.bluesky.com or whatever the handles are over there. But where can we find you, Pat?
Oh, the easiest way to find me is on Blue Sky. It's written right here, patgeoton.bluesky. If you add underscores around the or, you can also find me on Twitter, but honestly, I don't post on Twitter. So
I need to use Blue Sky more. I need to get more into an effort and a routine of using it.
Anyways, this has been us. Thank you so much to SAC for having us, and of course, thank you to Jorian, our wonderful observer, for doing
always a pleasure with
job.
you, Jorian. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to SAC Season 10, Qualifier number 4. I'm Broken Pinky, joined by the wonderful Nell here. And yeah, we're super excited to bring you the gold bracket, the last qualifier of the SAC season.
For sure. I am so excited to be able to commentate with you, Pinky. It was kind of last minute on my part, but I'm very excited. We're in for a treat. We're going to be seeing gold bracket. We're going to be seeing Tarcha the Best versus Tidal Disruption. And yeah, let me check on the group stage to see how both teams have done so far. Tidal Disruption has gone 3-1, and then where are they? Oh my goodness. I'm not good at this.
I'd imagine both these teams went 3-1 in the group stage, but
you're so correct all the time, actually.
I'm a genius. What can I say? I've been doing this too long.
You know a few things about the game. But yeah, so we're in for a treat today. We're going to be starting off, I believe it is a best of 3 set. We're going to start off with Flat Zones on Umami Ruins, then we're going to go over to Rainmaker Undertow, and finally, if we get to a game 3, we'll be going to Tower Inkblot.
I'd love a good game 3. I love a good game 3 set, down to the wire, especially because, we are in gold bracket, no longer in any of that group stage nonsense. So if you lose, you're out. If you win, you keep on going. And of course, the further you go, the more points you get towards that total to get, invited to that SAC finale in just a few weeks.
For sure. And I do know that all of these teams would probably ideally want to do 2-0s, but who knows what's going to happen. They're probably going to do, if we get a best of 3, then I would be very excited to see it. I always love when teams just kind of are pretty evenly matched here in these brackets, and there's a lot at stake. We can see who gets to move on next time over at SAC. We aren't going to have to wait much longer. We're going to get right into it here. Round 1 of gold bracket. We are going to be seeing a Forge Pro on the blue team and a pretty average comp on the orange side. I'm excited to see the Forge Pro. That is from the side of Tarcha the Best. So as we just get right into it, let's see what both teams can pick up.
Yeah, I was not really expecting, a Forge Pro mention here, but pretty standard comp on the side of Tidal Disruption. Tarcha the Best is going to have that Forge Pro, also going to have this Crab Tank from the Splash Magic to get things started here and get an early cap here for Tarcha the Best. Tidal Destruction, it's kind of hard to get a good cap on dual zones map like Umami Ruins because just there's so many parts of the map you have to patrol, and right now we're just seeing that kind of manifest in a brawl in mid.
For sure, the decaf player does get a cheeky pick from the side of Tidal Disruption, and we are just kind of fighting for zones here. Like you said earlier, it is quite difficult to be able to have that team coordination, especially at the beginning of the match in order to grab both zones at once. So we are seeing a pretty neutral game right now, despite the first few points going to Tarcha the Best. The pencil player from Tarcha the Best does go down, which does allow Tidal Disruption to be able to cap zone for just a little bit. We haven't really seen a lead swap just yet. We are seeing scuffles and fights going on, and it's just pretty even here. We do see a crab coming out from Tarcha the Best, trying to make something happen. It swiftly gets canceled, and now the points are going down for the side of Tidal Disruption.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just had like a bit of a prelude into this match. Not a whole lot of points being scored. Just kind of waiting for one team to get a decisive hold over the other. It looks like Tidal Disruption is going to be the first one to get that solid hold. For just a little bit, they're going to get that gal down as well. But flanks just continue to come. The shot player trying to retreat a little bit, though. Going to give up some space here as Tidal Disruption is going to be able to get, a pretty solid hold here. Tarcha the Best already fighting back, though. Gal getting some nice picks. 3 go down on Tidal Disruption, and control is back in the hands of Tarcha the Best.
Absolutely, Tarcha the Best is able to give a 30-second penalty over to Tidal Disruption because they are able to cap the zone. They aren't really able to hold zone for too long, though, because Tarcha the Best is going to contest that as much as they can. 2 goes down on that side, though, and Tidal Disruption does have a bubble under their belt, going to try and get some purchase on one of the zones here, and it's just a fight of both sides. We are still trying to fight for purchase over the left side of the zone here from Tidal Disruption. I know that they are very eager to chew through their penalty here, and so Tarcha is going to have to get on the back foot here as they do have a delayed wipe, and they are going to have to defend and regroup as they get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, Tidal Disruption now has a pretty good amount of control on this game. This decav doing a good job of patrolling this elbow area, and Tidal Disruption done with that penalty as well. So they're starting to get more points on the to the best. To get back to mid, sending too much and having to... It's just so hard to get out of this elbow area on Umami Ruins. So they're just trying their best here. Specials are being thrown out by Tidal Disruption. These strikes trying to delay as best as possible. And Tidal Disruption continuing to score points and getting close to this knockout. But the Booyah is going to help with that zone flip a little bit.
For sure, we do see a hefty penalty of 53 points on the side of Tidal Disruption. Ethereal trying to make something happen as they push up here, about to get their team into a good spot. One unfortunately does go down right as the Tacticooler does pop out. Abby is here trying to keep space in mid, trying to serve as a podium for their team to fall back on, because two did go down and now they are going to have to get back on the back foot. Tarcha is still going to need to make a lead flip happen sooner or later. We do see a crab available from the splash on the side of Tarcha, unfortunately going down before they're able to get it out. Ethereal is just kind of tearing up the dome area from Tarcha. 3 going down from Tarcha. Tidal Disruption is wasting no time, taking space, pushing up, and it's not really looking good for Tarcha unless they're able to really push forward and get the zone flip so that they can start chewing through their penalty.
Yeah, and they really don't have much time to work with here. I mean, already Tidal Disruption is getting close to that knockout percent. 3 are going to go down here. It's Justice Pen as the last one alive, as points are going to be continuing to score here. And it's looking more and more likely that a knockout is how Game 1 is going to be ending here for Tidal Disruption.
It was really anybody's game at the beginning. I feel like both of the teams were kind of, they weren't playing footsie, but they were like, okay, I know you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. And then, it was just kind of like a sweeping victory for Tidal Disruption once they were able to get their footing and have a lockout scenario open up to them. It was really kind of impossible for Tarcha the Best to be able to get back in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a very back and forth neutral for a good amount of that match, but once Tidal Disruption got that solid hold, they really didn't let go until the points were in the 20s, and Tarcha the Best tried to fight back, but Tidal Disruption kept on playing cool, calm, collected, got that control back, and was able to just ride it all the way to victory. So very good Game 1 from Tidal Disruption, just showing how polarizing Umami Zones can be. But yeah, that's going to be all for Game 1. We're moving quickly into Game 2, I'd imagine. Rainmaker on Undertow Spillways. So that's an interesting one. I feel like I don't see this one too much anymore, as, Zones only is kind of become the dominant form of play. But Rainmaker Undertow, still an interesting map mode.
Oh, for sure. Rainmaker Undertow, I feel like we're going to see a stalemate in the first half of the game, kind of similarly to how we did with Umami Zones, because the Rainmaker can live in mid for a very long time until somebody takes the first push. And it is very difficult to get through that right checkpoint choke or the left checkpoint choke. I was thinking of the defending position. You know how it is. But you would need to have a very strong team coordination, and I'm curious to see how the Decavitator on the side of Tidal Disruption is going to maybe disrupt the plan of Tarcha the Best, how that's going to work, because I do know that oh my goodness. Discord crashed. No. Discord crashed. I'm sorry. I can still hear you. What? Okay, sorry. Discord crashed. I was like, what? We're back though. I'm here.
Okay, I think we're good. Just a little bit of scuff, a little bit of weirdness, but
okay.
Yeah.
So we good. There's got to be a little bit of scuff if I'm involved.
I mean, it's a Splatoon tournament. There's always a little bit of scuff going out. Just into the wind, just to make things a little bit interesting, I guess. But regardless, we are going to be gearing up for Game 2 on Rainmaker Undertow, which, look, I always love to see. I love this map a ton. I think it's super fun to move around on. But as with most Rainmaker maps, as soon as checkpoints go down, it can be a little bit dicey. It's a little bit hard to get that checkpoint down in the first place because the left side is kind of hard to push through in the beginning, but you can just you can move really fast between that first checkpoint and just getting that knockout on that left side. You swim through. You can just lay out that red carpet, like I say, and just guide the Rainmaker right on through.
Oh, for sure. It's like a very huge snowball if you're able to get it past the first checkpoint. It's kind of like, basically, like you said, they're laying out the red carpet. You instantly go from about 60 points to about 20 points left to win. And then, boom, it's very difficult to come back from if the enemy team does have that advantage over you, if they are able to make that run for the checkpoint. And you know, it's pretty difficult to get there, but I feel like once you get there, it's very quick. So we'll see how this match goes. They are still queuing up weapons right now. We won't have to wait much longer, but I am curious to see how this map's going to go, if it's going to be very stalematey or if it's going to be like that domino effect that we talked about, being quite quick. So as we get right into it.
Yeah, game number 2. I'd imagine we're going to see a lot of those shooters sticking around. We're actually going to see a custom blaster and a Splatoon stamper coming out here. Same comp from the other side for the most part, if I'm recalling correctly. But yeah, Tarcha the Best switching things up in a big way, bringing out that custom blaster and a stamper. Custom blaster notably does not have mains of QRs, actually all swing speed and some stealth jumps. So curious to see how that's going to play out here for Tarcha the Best.
Yeah, I would be expecting, I believe that is that the bubble version or is that the Kraken version? I'm not
That's the splashdown version.
Oh, my bad. I'm not a blaster user. Please forgive me. But 3 go down from the side of Tarcha the Best, and Tidal Disruption is wasting no time marching towards the first checkpoint with the bubble for safety, guaranteeing the first dunk on the checkpoint. It's like we talked about earlier. If you're able to get through that check, it's quite fast. So there were 3 specials at the ready for Tarcha the Best. They're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at this choke point to try and get them out of there. But unfortunately, it just seems like they're difficult to get rid of here. And on the pencil players living so long, they were able to push the Rainmaker to 45 points.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed that pen was able to just live that whole skirmish a little bit, because as soon as the Maker got picked up, the priorities shifted a little bit. So lead is at 45 here for Tidal Disruption. That's pretty good, but on this map, you really want to obviously get to a knockout, but you want to get below that 20-point marker on this map for sure, and it's not too difficult to attain once you get that advantage. So Tarcha the Best definitely has a window of opportunity to get back in this game, but it's gonna have to start with them, getting rid of these players from their spawn, because Tidal Disruption is just going to continue disrupting their base as long as possible.
I completely agree. I do think that they need to get these players outside of this right elbow area if they are going to get any points on the board. We do see a pick getting plucked from, I believe that is Shiro on the, oh my goodness, Commentators curse, there's a wipeout, and suddenly Tarcha is going left, hurtling left side as it is completely clear. And they are probably going to be able to get this checkpoint if their teammates can keep up. I do believe that the Rainmaker and the Sword player are the furthest ones up. Pencil player is able to get a quick pick off of them, and 3 go down from Tarcha, absolutely ruining their push.
Yeah, that push is a little bit dead in the water there. At least, though, they got that checkpoint down. That is definitely most of what they wanted, but all of what they wanted was that lead, and they didn't get it this go-around. But there's still plenty of time left in this game. We still got about half this game's timer left, and Maker's still kind of locked in it, but Tarcha going to go 3 down, 2 go down on the side of Tidal Disruption, so not a whole lot of progress is going to be made from that. Abby, though, last one alive on this pen, is just trying to stay alive, be just a good anchor here for the teammates, and get that cooler out as this next team fight approaches, as Tidal Disruption already coming in from the right side.
Completely agree. The Decapitator from Tidal Disruption is pushing forward as quickly as they can, and they are hurtling the Rainmaker down towards 8 points, just a hair's away from being able to get the knockout here. Tarcha the Best is trying to clear out the best they can. They are kind of speeding towards mid here, opting not to clear out the right side. They kind of just need to get into mid as quickly as possible to snuff out any players. Shiro on the Rainmaker is going to stay on this top left area, trying to get out of the sight lines from everybody from Tidal Disruption. There's not really any safe places to go right now for them, unfortunately. It seems like their team is just in a constant stagger, unfortunately. But as we're getting back into it, we are just, seeing Ethereal try to get some picks on Nightmare. Nightmare does get that trade back. 2 go down, 3 go down from Tarcha the Best, and Tidal Disruption is sitting pretty back in mid.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a window of opportunity for Tarcha the Best, but now, the window's getting a little bit smaller as Tidal Disruption just continues to play their game here, and Tarcha the Best kind of struggling to get their foot on the gas here. But 3 go down, that's going to be a for sure wipeout here of the members of Tidal Disruption here, as Tarcha the Best is trying to ready their push back. They don't have any specials other than that splashdown. They do have Cooler on the ready here, but that blaster going to go down pretty early. Decap going to go down as well on the other side. But right now, I mean, Tarcha the Best just wants to keep their numbers up as best as possible and just keep that paint going for this Maker. But right now, they're just kind of stuck in this corner trying to make something happen here. Tidal Disruption giving them a good amount of space here, but Tarcha the Best needs to be finding these picks. Strikes are going to be coming out. Zuka's at the ready as well here, so this Maker is in danger.
For sure, and it's also tough because the maker that is holding is the Tentatech user, which they do have the strikes to help get through that checkpoint. So even though they were grabbing the Rainmaker, they were unable to get strikes out and effectively didn't have a displacement special to get through it. And now it's not impossible for Tarcha to get to the best to get to this little choke area, but Anon over here is trying to clear it out as fast as possible, able to clear it out. And like we said before, it seems like Tarcha the Best is in this staggered state that they just can't really get out of. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. We are seeing a special being held from Tidal Disruption. That is the bubble, just to make sure that it is safe. And we don't have to doubt anymore. The win does go to Tidal Disruption.
Yeah, I mean, Tidal Disruption, I mean, again, the set kind of started out with just a very neutral, locked state, but once Tidal Disruption, got some control, they really put their foot on the gas, and they did not let go. And the same thing kind of happened in game number 2, where it was pretty neutral heavy, but Tidal Disruption had one opportunity, they took it all the way to 8 points, and they just did not relent for the rest of the game's time or so. That's going to be a pretty decisive 2-0 here in favor of Tidal Disruption to take them into the top 4 of this gold bracket. But yeah, I don't really got much more to say, just a really well-played set here by Tidal Disruption.
For sure, very clean sweep indeed. Good effort from both teams. And now we are going to be going on to semifinals of a gold bracket. It will take a little bit of a moment to get in the room though. But that was very well played. I enjoyed seeing the game. I love Splatoon.
I do love Splatoon. I do love this video game. But yeah, 3 of the 4 quarter sets have already concluded. So one side of semis, I believe, is going to be next up. We have DistInkt versus Insomniac Central. Tidal Disruption is still waiting for their opponent, as Big Fat Seekhouse and Passione are playing a Game 3 set here. But yeah, I think our other semifinals matches is already trying to get set up here a little bit.
For sure. We may hop over to a quick break so that we can get everything set up in the room, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back with more gold bracket content for you.
Absolutely. Take care. Welcome back.
Again. Oh my god, Pinky.
Oops, my bad.
Okay.
Oopsies. Welcome back to some more gold bracket gaming here. We have our semifinals matchup here between DistInkt and Insomniac Central, and I am joined by Nell. Hello.
Hi, I'm joined by Pinky, my ultra bestest friend in the entire world. Isn't it great? I love them so much.
Ain't it fun? I love my friends.
I also love my friends, especially when we talk at the same time, and then we just be a little silly with it. Okay, but you know, we are going into, where are we actually? Let me double check that. We are going into semifinals of gold bracket. We are going to be seeing DistInkt versus Insomniac Central. And I will say DistInkt is seed 1 and Insomniac Central is seed 3. So we are in for a treat today. Let's see if we can get to all 5 in this best of 5 set. We are just going to be hurtling straight into it. Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime. The map is going to be queued up in a few seconds, and those seconds are done right now.
Yeah, those seconds have elapsed by now. We're just gonna get right on into it here, as we're gonna go straight into this game number 1. But yeah, Bo and Tenebrella,
yes!
Junior. So Insomniac Central are running a pretty fun comp. DistInkt is going. Actually, both these teams have a bow. What is going on here?
I like the fun comps. I like when teams have a little bit of silly fun time and they don't really care about what's meta and what's not. Just play what you're good at and play what you think has fun synergy. And, oh, you know, 3 go down from Rob the Bucket user. Okay, anyways, DistInkt is wasting no time getting a cap on the zone. They are hurtling towards the lead here, unable to get a pick from Tenor on the side of Insomniac Central, but that triple is pretty much carrying them through this lead. We are going to have a little bit of a, we're going to take it a little bit slow though. There are 2 bubbles in mid. We may have to back off a little bit.
So the last time I casted IPL, there was E-Leader versus E-Leader, and now it's it's Coolerless Bow versus Coolerless Bow. So this is definitely something here, but right now, pretty decisive advantage here going for Insomniac Central. They do have the lead right now. They have the player advantage as well. They're trying to get set up here. Stamper just have the Sidcaster at the ready. Just Tenebrella just being an absolute menace. You know, I feel like DistInkt doesn't have a ton that can break that Brella shield aside from that bow, and forcing that bow to, you know, lock onto that Brella can be very exploitable for the other members here. Bubble is going to be set up here in this court area to establish more control for Insomniac Central, and DistInkt just trying to find a way to break through, but just not quite finding the answer yet.
For sure. We are fighting tooth and nail trying to get control of our plat back. It seems like Tiger on the ruler here is the only one that is kind of on the plat, physically trying to make sure that we have a clear path. There's only 10 seconds left for Insomniac Central. We're really going to need to flip the zone sooner rather than later if we're going to need to give them a penalty and secure a spot in the lead. Unfortunately, 3 go down from the side of DistInkt, and that is all that she wrote. That is it. That was a very quick first match. The winner of the mode, of the map, of the game, Insomniac Central.
Yeah, very, very, I mean, like you said, decisive game 1 here for Insomniac Central. I mean, they had a game plan, and they executed it to perfection there from beginning to end, and they're going to get a well-deserved game 1 victory for that. They're definitely one of the top seeds coming into this tournament for a reason, and I mean, they showed why. You know, even up against DistInkt, who's another really strong team, Insomniac Central just kind of ran them over in that game 1. There's no real other way to put it.
For sure. I do think that DistInkt should have probably focused on just regrouping and retaking their plat area. It seemed like they were just kind of in a stagger since that first triple that we saw at the beginning. It was kind of like a little steamroll that we couldn't really get back from. But I do think that the next map mode is a little bit different. It is going to be Crab Leg Capital, which we all know is one of my maps of all time. I don't really know how I feel about this one, but
no, you're a Splatling player. You run over the grates with your run speed.
Okay, that is quite true. However, the enemy pencil is hurtling towards me at a rapid pace, and they outrange me. So, you know, I do have some trauma from Crab Leg Capital, but we're doing our best here to try and cope with it and go through with it. I really am excited to see that bow. I do know that that bow player, it looked to be like a 15-star bow player, so I'm very excited to see bow action here on the grates at SCAC. Clams, Crab Leg Capital, let's get right into it.
Yeah, if I recall, Mooj and Wings are both dedicated bow players, so I'd imagine we're going to see bow, on both sides, and they're, you know, both really solid with the bow. They're both going to be opting for the vanilla variant with that Missing the Whale. So same comp on the side of Insomniac Central. DistInkt switching things up, though. They have that bow. They're going to be running the crab edit.
There's a heavy edit.
Heavy edit mentioned here on IPL. And yeah, let's get into it.
Sorry, I got a little bit excited. I just was like kind of holding it in. I'm like, there's a heavy edit, Pinky. Please mention it right now. And then you didn't mention it in that moment. I'm like, I'm going to explode if you don't mention that there's a heavy edit with a crab. So we aren't really seeing any power clams on either side. It's 6 clams each on both teams. The bows are both holding. I mean, it's just a pretty neutral game at the beginning, trying to fight for mid here. Mid control is going to go to Insomniac Central at the beginning, though. We are going to be seeing the bow player, Wings, does have control over top mid, which is a very, very advantageous position here because they're able to reach to the plat area like we can see here. Tiger, they are going to be trying to push here. They do have a ball at the ready. Maybe not enough clams to make a huge dent in the score, but they do have something, and they're just waiting for the opportunity to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, Crabbling on Clamlets is one of the slower map modes in this game, just because it's really, really hard to score on this map. The baskets are super far away. It's super thick choke point to push through here. Obviously, trying to be combated here, Insomniac Central does have that tent shield, which is a great way to force some progress. And both these teams are running that bubble blower to keep that push, or just a big bubbler to keep themselves a little bit safer. But even still, I mean, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that Clambus neutral play here. But 2 go down, 3 go down on the side of DistInkt. Insomniac Central has a good chance to push towards this basket. They have the power claims at the ready to first push coming in through Insomniac Central.
For sure, it was just the heavy edit alive on the side of DistInkt, defending what they can. Now that their teammates are back, they are going to be trying to get a defensive push going to get them out of their area, and that is exactly what is going to happen. It's only the junior left on the side of Insomniac Central, which is allowing DistInkt to be able to take a lot of space. We do see Tiger on the top right with the big bubbler at the ready, and Azuka at the ready as well. They are coming out. We do have 2 power clams. It's not enough in order to make a dent in the score and make a lead swap, but possibly we may see what happens as we are going to be scoring right here, right now. There is 1 down on both sides. Tiger's hurtling clams into the basket, but we don't really have enough. We are going to have enough, but we just need 1 more in order to get it in, and we are going to take the lead with a cheeky power clam into the basket here, and that may be it. No, Afro is still here, tossing clams in, and we have more, and we have more, and more, and more, and more, and there's only 2
They
more.
just don't stop coming. Tiger has enough for the knockout there. No, 1 clam short, but the credit is going to be able to get that final clam in for the knockout. And just as quickly as DistInkt starts their push, they're going to get the full knockout here in a 1 and done to take game number 2.
That was a crazy game too. I didn't expect any of that to happen, and I was yapping through it all, and I'm like, okay, and then something else is happening, and then something else is happening.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, they're jumping in the clams. Oh my god, they're doing it. Like, I don't know.
I can feel you like trying to. I could tell like you were trying to like pass the ball, and it's like there's just more stuff happening here. It just didn't stop. I mean, as soon as DistInkt got, again, they started scoring, and they just didn't stop, really. It just doesn't
and they
end.
just don't stop coming. It was cool though how it seems like they didn't close the basket at all. It was like, okay, we can keep this open. I'm like, you can't keep this open. You can't keep this open. And it's like they kept it open. I'm like, they kept it open. I'm a very well-educated commentator. They kept the basket open. Next, we're going over to Rainmaker Museum.
Right, what can I say?
Raining on that museum until I Rainmaker.
She I'm not gonna do that actually. Game 3 though.
Good
Make a
idea
museum.
to not
Yeah,
do
this is
that.
definitely. Yeah, you know what? Maybe some jokes are best left for the right context, maybe. But yeah, we're getting a tied set here 1-1. So maybe we'll go the full distance in 5 games because both these teams have shown respective dominance of the games that they've won so far. So maybe we'll get some more of that, or maybe some good contestation here on game number 3. Rainmaker Museum, another interesting Rainmaker map, kind of like the Undertow we saw a bit before, but that first checkpoint tends to fall pretty quickly if you can just make that gamer jump. But scoring points beyond that is kind of hard because Spinner is a very solid choke point. But regardless, let's see what happens as we get into game number 3 here between DistInkt and Insomniac Central.
For sure, and I was chuckling a little bit about the gamer jump. I hope that we're able to see it happen here. The bow is coming back out from both sides. We do see the return of the tent. I am very excited to see tent players kind of get their moment of glory today. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of tents recently in comp, and it's quite joyous. I'm full of whimsy.
Quite joyous indeed. Yes, Tenebella always going to be taken down to the corner there, unfortunately. Insomniac Central is going to get the pop here. But yeah, we're just going to be seeing some more neutral play here to start things off. Two going down on either side here. Both these teams just trying their best to stay alive and not, give a huge opening, because again, that first checkpoint, it falls pretty quickly, and you don't want to have that happen to you so early on. Both these teams just trying their best to stay alive. Red trying to patrol top mid, but 3 go down on the side of Insomniac Central, and DistInkt already trying to push this advantage. They're going to make the gamer jump, and they're going to get that checkpoint there as Mood's going to get the dunk.
Beautiful dunk on that gamer jump through the first checkpoint, and now let's see if DistInkt is able to push through here to get more points on the board. We are going to be able to chew through some more points if it was just painted a little bit better. We do get the points down to 31. Only one is left alive on the side of DistInkt, and I believe they are just trying to run for their lives or just hide and live as best they can to be a makeshift anchor for their team to get them back here. Insomniac Central is wasting in no time trying to paint up mid, trying to get some specials under their belt. We are just kind of trying to see everybody get paint on the ground. They're like, we want this space now. We want it. We want it. And they haven't even broken the first checkpoint, but 31 points is it's not impossible to beat, but it is pretty hefty at the beginning.
Yeah, it is quite a good lead on this map. They did make it, around that sort of, I guess, pillow maze in a sense. It is kind of hard to traverse through that area, but DistInkt able to get through it in one go, and Insomniac Central just trying to get some control back. They're going to be getting the Maker onto that spinner, so now, a gamer jump separates them from the checkpoint, but the shot is going to be chasing down this Maker, going to find a double as well before they go down, and that's going to really put a thorn in Insomniac Central's side. They're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get their push going once again, but they're still finding picks on the enemy plat, so DistInkt still trying to keep a strong defense as Insomniac Central sets up this bubble here from this junior. Guwapper just sitting right in here, but the bubble gets shredded so quickly, and this Rainmaker still a few meters away from getting the knockout or from getting the dunk, but they're going to find the checkpoint here.
Beautiful dunk from the side of Insomniac Central. They may be able to make a lead swap happen if they are able to prepare. We do see a special from the side of DistInkt, and somebody is going to try and grab it to try and toss it off the edge, unfortunately with no purchase. And now Insomniac Central 3 down. That is basically a delayed wipe. We are going to be seeing DistInkt taking the Rainmaker back to the right side, trying to make sure that their win is solidified, because that was a little bit too close for comfort. And so we are just kind of playing it patiently for our team to have specials being put out so that we can go back onto their plat, and that was quite fast. It looks like we're taking the top left. We're taking the top left, chat. Oh my gosh, I love it. 3 go down from the side of DistInkt, and now the Rainmaker is in a pretty awkward spot.
Yeah, it takes a good amount of time to get the Maker down from there. Guwapper, I guess, trying to traverse the spinners here on this junior and trying to just keep the players of DistInkt out here, but on one hand, checkpoints are down, and when checkpoints are down, all bets are off. Anything can really happen. But on the other hand, DistInkt just had just really solid control of this game pretty much from the start. And Insomniac Central really been struggling to get much going other than getting that checkpoint break. And even that was quite a laborious endeavor. So, I guess getting back into some neutral here. A minute 30 left on the clock. Insomniac Central trying to get something started here. They have a good amount of map control, but they need to start converting it into some picks.
I completely agree. Insomniac Central, they are going to have to push up just a little bit. I do think that Wings being on their plat is probably allowing them a little bit too much space. I will say that DistInkt's game plan has been just kind of go from the side and pick off people from the back so that they're distracted. And it has been working for them. I feel like there have been a lot of opportunities for Insomniac Central to get some good leads. But, there was a distraction from behind or a flank happening. Or, that's just the nature of this map. We do see somebody go down from the side of Insomniac Central. Wings is carrying, trying to make something happen there is only 50 seconds left. Unfortunately, going down, it just seems like Insomniac Central is in a staggered state that they can't seem to get out of.
Yeah, Rafa on this bucket has just been so strong in this game number 3 so far here for DistInkt, and Insomniac Central just so hard to get some control. Now the Maker is in such an awkward spot to sort of retrieve. It's surrounded by this green ink that Insomniac Central just cannot seem to get rid of here. DistInkt just playing so good to their outs. They have control of this maker here with 20 seconds left to go, and right now they're just trying to stall a little bit as Tenor is going to run out of that Zuka. Pick is going to come out onto that Junior as well, and Tenor stuck in an awkward spot, and Insomniac Central is really struggling to make some progress towards this maker here. Stamper probably going to find the pick in that Zipcaster unless something goes disastrously wrong here. But this maker, yeah, finally going to be reset with just a few seconds left to go. But now it's kind of overtime or bust here for Insomniac Central and DistInkt already setting up for defense.
For sure, Insomniac Central cannot afford to make any mistakes right now. We do see strikes going out from the side of DistInkt, and the Rainmaker is now separated from their teammates, kind of allowing an opening for DistInkt to get in there and take the Rainmaker. But the Rainmaker is still alive somehow. Wings is surviving and thriving right now, but they do have only a little bit of time left on the clock before they explode. So we are going to have to make something happen, and quickly. We do see two specials from the side of DistInkt. It just seems like DistInkt is waiting patiently for Insomniac Central to make a mistake and overextend here, which I think is a very good plan. It just seems like they aren't able to make anything happen. And so the winner of this game goes to DistInkt.
Yeah, I mean, just this long-range pressure combination of the bow and I think the Zuka at the end was what finished off the maker was, just a really strong multi-layered defense there from DistInkt to win that game number 3. And again, I mean, they got that initial push to 31, and they kind of rode their coattails of that all the way to the end. And they could have gone for a very cheeky knockout there on that top left side. Didn't quite work out for them, but they didn't really need it at the end of the day because Insomniac Central just kind of struggled to get a good push going together, which it's hard on this map, man. It's brutal.
Yeah, I agree. And so we're going to get into tower control Hagglefish, and I will say that it is game or match point for DistInkt if they are able to take this next game. If they're not able to take the next game, then we will be going to a game 5. Which I am quite excited for if we are able to see it. I do think that both teams are pretty evenly played, but I will say that DistInkt's kind of game plan is to be a little bit sneaky behind, just have one player go back and displace and have some attention, take some attention away, and it just kind of throws a wrench in Insomniac Central's game plan. So I do want to see how we're going to proceed with that.
Yeah, I mean, the roller player has just been so good at just sneaking behind and just finding some really quick sharks. And, the combined long-range AoE pressure of the Zuka and the bow shots just been really, really strong here for DistInkt. Insomniac Central needs to find a response. They've lost 2 games in a row, and, they're kind of out of lifelines here. We're going to go to game 4. Like you said, now match point here for DistInkt. Game 4 on TC Haggle. I think same comp here for both sides. Yep, same stuff from both these teams. So all that said, let's get right into it.
For sure, we are going with what we know works, and we know that this works for them. There aren't going to be as many opportunities for some cheeky plays on this map because I feel like both of the flanks are pretty easily looked at. We do see Afro trying to get a flank going from the start, unable to make it happen, going down first off within the first 15 seconds. Kuwaba is trying to paint the way for their tower in order to go forward here. We are going to chip away at points a little bit, just barely making it past 93. Beautiful pick from Nuge here on the bow. We are going to try and get some whales out, try and get displaced. It's just pretty back and forth right now as the game is unfolding.
Yeah, game starting out. Both these teams off to a pretty evenly matched start. Push is trying to come out here for DistInkt here, but Insomniac Central able to sort of get those 2 picks and end that push right before it starts. But yeah, this tower hasn't really left the middle of this map here, and it's quite a long trek toward that first checkpoint. It doesn't get broken until 60 points, so it's going to be a good while until we see any checkpoints being broken. But right now, DistInkt on that tower, 3 are down on the side of Insomniac Central, and they're already moving towards this first checkpoint here. Roller going to be the one sitting on the tower, ready to pop the bubble at a moment's notice, and there we see it as the first checkpoint has some work being done on it, but they're forced to abandon it just a little bit.
2 go down from the side of Insomniac Central and DistInkt. Both are 2-2 right now. We do see both members of Insomniac Central on the kind of right choke area. I would like to see a teammate from DistInkt going on to the top right area because that is a win condition, but we just really aren't in the state in order to make that happen. So the tower is going to go back to neutral, and it is going to kind of march back to mid, albeit slowly. But it gives Insomniac Central a good opportunity to get some footing and possibly get some paint on the ground on their side to prevent this push. But DistInkt is not ready to give this push up just yet. We are just kind of tapping the tower every now and then to make sure that it's still on our side. And we do see a bubble at the ready, and it is going to be popped out momentarily as DistInkt is hurtling towards the second checkpoint and going through it.
Yeah, and I mean, I love that DistInkt is just touching tower just to keep that passive special charge going in their favor. I feel like, people kind of forget about how powerful the passive special charge is in tower control. It's like 4.5 points per teammate per second. That, really adds up quickly in ensuring you can pelt your opponent with more strikes, more Zukas, and more bubbles. But regardless, Insomniac Central now has control of that tower. They're starting to move toward that first checkpoint. Player down on each side, but Bucket goes down as well here to the Stamper with the Zipcaster, trying to find the last pick on the roller. They're forced to recall, though. Tiger is the last player alive here for DistInkt. And Insomniac Central getting some work done on this first checkpoint, probably going to break it as well, but Tiger, still living alive, is able to find a pick before they go down, and the tower not quite able to make it toward that lead threshold. Guwap at the last one alive, forced to abandon the push at 53. Still a good pusher for Insomniac Central, but not quite enough to get a good lead here as we're going to be entering the last 2 minutes of this game.
For sure. It's anybody's game right now. Insomniac Central just kind of has to be a little bit more cohesive in their pushes. They got to make sure that they're able to get through it. We do see a bubble coming out from the side of Guwap. They are going to be able to get some form of purchase. Words. I'm wording right now really good. You have to be happy for me. 2 specials are up on Insomniac Central, and they're coming out, and we're seeing specials, and we're seeing the game being played.
Now, I just want you to know that I'm very happy for you.
I'm wording so good right now. You have to be proud of me.
And Insomniac Central is platooning very well right now, as well as they're going to be closing in on this lead. Forced to abandon tower just a little bit here, but the tower still decidedly on their side of the map here. But Mooch is able to find a crucial pick onto that junior player. Very nice snipe with that bow. And yeah, it's going to be, I don't know, I feel like Insomniac Central has these chances to push the tower, but as soon as a player goes down or something goes wrong, they just run away before they can really fight it out here. And maybe that's just what their comp is designed to do, but it's not been serving them well in this set so far.
Yeah, for sure. With 2 down on DistInkt, they are going to have to regroup here. We do have less than a minute left in order to make a lead swap happen. DistInkt is going to have to kind of get stuff moving, get stuff flowing, get stuff grooving in order to make something happen. But it doesn't seem like Insomniac Central is allowing that despite going 2 down. They are still trying to keep the tower in their favor. They don't want to let this up quite yet here, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they're not wiping. They're just kind of staying alive as much as they can and keeping the tower on that side as much as possible, because every second counts here. There are 20 seconds left. Specials on both sides. Wings is here trying to make sure that the tower stays in their favor, and it just doesn't seem like DistInkt is able to grab the tower.
Yeah, here we go here. It's going to have to happen in overtime for Insomniac Central. They're pushing this tower. Wings is able to find a good pick on Mooch, getting rid of that backline player. But this roller Tiger's already pushing the tower, and the strikes as well is going to be all she wrote there. DistInkt has such a strong defense that they're going to be using it to the fullest to get that set win 3-1 over Insomniac Central.
For sure, and I am looking at the Sendo, and it seems like Insomniac Central was the one that won that.
That might be a misnomer. I don't know, because it's the team with DI, with the tag DI, which I'm assuming stands for DistInkt, but
okay.
Me no know.
Regardless, on our end, DistInkt won.
in our reality, DistInkt won. Is that true for all realities? Who knows? This might be another episode of Black Mirror.
That's so true. Well, I had a fun time watching that set, though. I thought it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, Insomniac Central just kind of... Insomniac Central game 1 was just so incredibly strong, but after that, DistInkt just kind of locked in, and they didn't lock out until the set was over, pretty much. And Insomniac Central, made it real close in that game 4, but GG strikes on tower control is just so powerful.
I completely agree. So I feel like they just weren't really able to touch the tower at all that entire game, and I really liked the patience shown from DistInkt. They were able to really take their time and just make sure that the set favors them as much as possible, because in this game, time is a resource as much as anything else is. So yeah, pretty well played from both teams.
Absolutely here, but it is going to be, I believe, DistInkt moving on. Again, my eyes might be lying to me on Sendo, but regardless, our other finalist is still yet to be determined. But yeah, I think, the other set is still going to be going on between Passione and Tidal Disruption. But yeah, I think last up here for the day is going to be finals of SEC Season 10 Qualifier number 4. But before that, we're going to go to another short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back for finals.
Number 4.
4.
Or 4. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to SAC. My name is Nell, and I'm joined with the lovely Pinky.
Hello, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Nell. Yes, we are in gold bracket finals here for SAC Season 10 qualifier number 4. And yeah, these are the last two teams in the bracket here. We have Passione up against DistInkt.
We did just see DistInkt take a very clean 3-1 set against, or no, it was 2-1. Was it a best of 5? It was a 3-2. No, it was a 3-1. All right, cool. I know my numbers very well.
Accountant, by the way.
I'm an accountant, but on the weekends I don't. On the weekends I don't use my brain for numbers, so that's probably why I'm a little bit silly. But we are going to be seeing Passione versus DistInkt in, I believe this is grand finals of SAC. So I'm very excited to see this. Hopefully we'll get a best of 5. You know, I really want to see Zone's Ramen, but we're gonna start off the first game. It's gonna be Zone's Mako Mart, and I think that both of these teams probably have a very good handle on this map mode, so we really get to see both teams shine.
Yeah, I mean, Zone's Mako is kind of just the map of all time. It's a good litmus test into what the set is going to be like between the two teams. I think Passione just came out of a Game 5 set in semifinals to qualify for Grand. So their adrenaline is running a little bit up, and we are on, I believe, the wrong map here. So we're going to go probably reset things as I don't think Zone's Crab Leg is where we're supposed to be, but maybe we are.
Maybe we are supposed to be on Zone's Crab Leg, but I don't think we should be. Let's see. Nope, we're not going to be on this map mode. Nope. average moment. We are just going to be switching maps just a little bit. It should be quite quick. But yeah, we are going to be going into Zone's Mako Mart at the beginning. I haven't actually seen Passion play before, so I'm curious to see what they're going to pull out here. I know that DistInkt, I don't think they were the ones that had the tent, was it?
No. Yeah, that was Insomniac Central at that tent, but they still have the bow. They still have Mooj on the bow.
They still have the lovely bow, and I'm so excited to see that being played. Especially since I don't really know what the other team's gonna pull out. I'm excited. I'm sure that the bow is going to be fantastic, since I do trust them on that.
I do love some good bow gameplay. I feel like stringers are usually pretty underrepresented, so it was good to see 2 of them in the top 4 match, and of course it's great to see one of them make it all the way to the finals and have a chance for that auto qualification for the SEC finale, which takes place on June the 14th. So yeah, a lot of time to prepare for that finale. But yeah, I think we're about to get the show back on the road. We're just waiting for one last player to ready up here in this lobby. But yeah, Zone's Mako Mart. Definitely an interesting map mode here. A lot of ledges to peek for stuff like rollers and buckets and blasters. And obviously you have to take control of those stacks. But those are great backline positions. But yeah, let's get right into it. Game 1 here of the finals of this gold bracket. We're going to be seeing Dapple and Blaster on the side of Passione. And on the side of DistInkt, we're seeing their normal comp other than seeing a splash.
Yeah, so DistInkt has a pretty short range comp here, not counting the bow. I do believe the bow is going to be their entire range, but Passione doesn't really have a lot of range either aside from the pencil. They do have the dapples and the blaster, which is going to have a lot of AoE, and I am curious to see if the dapple buff is going to be in play here. I'm happy to see dapples getting some love. I have some friends that play dapples, so I mean we're just going to get right into it. We do see Passione kind of taking the first few points here. They are in charge. Bellyman is trying to get into top left. They are going to instead opt for just some blaster shots over top left to make sure that everybody is steering clear from that area. Points are trickling away for Passione. They are getting down to 60, and the chumps are going to come out from the side of DistInkt, but they are going to be very quickly shattered. However, the zone is going to flip, and it does give Passione a penalty.
Yeah, good penalty here for Passion. For DistInkt right now, as they're going to be trying to keep control of the zone with Passion. Fighting back pretty quickly, going to get the zone back in their favor pretty soon, I'd imagine. Yep, there we go. Passion back in control. Picks aren't really happening on either side here as soon as they say it to go down to DistInkt, though. And Passion has a pretty solid hold on the zone. Tamed is holding onto this crab tank, though, that can be popped at a moment's notice. I think it was already popped. And chumps are at the ready here for this bow, so still a fighting chance for DistInkt to get back into the zone. But right now, I mean, Passion has been really doing a good job of dictating the pace of this play and still holding on to zone pretty strong.
For sure, Passion did just break through their entire penalty, but unless they're able to shatter these chumps here, they're going to have to fight for the zone in order to confirm that they don't get another penalty under their belt, because DistInkt is approaching the zone at a rapid pace. We do see only 2 up from the side of DistInkt, and the bow player is respawning right now, so it's looking pretty good for Passion, as they do have the Tacticooler and the Crab out online. The Crab getting 2 picks, able to clear out the right stack, looking quite good for Passion here. 2 go down from DistInkt. And we just see the roller with the bubble, unfortunately going down. It's just an endless stacker for DistInkt, unfortunately, as the points are trickling away for Passion.
Yeah, and Passion is closing in on this knockout here right now in this game number 1. Only 20 points to go. One last hurrah here for DistInkt to try and get back in zone. The slider going to be able to find a pick. 2 down on either side, though. The zone is being put under pressure as the chomps are going to be coming out, but no one really to follow up on that. Means this blaster should be able to hold the zone on their own, and that's a game 1 win here for Passion to start things off here in Grand Finals.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the chumps just weren't fast enough for paint. If they were able to explode like they were at the first time that they got the zone flip, then maybe we could have seen a penalty being put for DistInkt, but, you know, it just wasn't really happening. So good effort from the side of Passion, though. I really liked their cohesiveness, and I feel like once they were set up, you really couldn't get them out of there.
Yeah, I feel like it is worth noting, though, in the last set, we did see DistInkt also drop game 1 on zones, so maybe zones is just a weaker mode for them. I think it was near identical scores as well, but I could be wrong on that one. But regardless, you know, it was after that game 1 where DistInkt really started to lock in, so I mean, maybe they just have to get zones out the way and they can be fully locked in for the rest of the set, but still a really good start here for Passion regardless.
Yeah, for sure. It's anybody's game, and we are going into tower control on ship shape. And so I am excited to see the bow player on ship shape Cargo Co. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any other comp changes that we're going to see. We don't have to guess much longer as we do get right into it. We are in the finals, and yep, no changes that I can see from the side of Passion and neither from DistInkt. So we're just going to keep going with what we know works, and let's get right into it. We are going to be playing quite a neutral game at the beginning as usual, but we are just kind of trying to all get into mid. We do see Afro kind of sharking in mid, trying to get a cheeky pick if they are able to. They are able to get some paint on the board, unfortunately getting trapped in a corner here. 2 down. DistInkt did win that scuffle. There are 2 down on both sides. Commentators curse, it's pretty neutral game still.
Yeah, I mean, pretty neutral start here on both of these sides. I would be kind of remiss to say that, you know, Blaster on tower control, of course, very, very strong. And I think we're also going to be seeing the other bow kit as opposed to the chump one. We're seeing the whale one, which makes sense. But 3 down on DistInkt. This is a full wipeout of DistInkt here. Passion off to another strong start here. They do have this reslider at the ready to sort of crash open the enemy spawn as they're already putting work on this first checkpoint here. And the checkpoints on this map really are the make or break. The first checkpoint is pretty hard to break, but that second checkpoint is one of the biggest bottlenecks in this game. So Passion already being done with this first checkpoint. These points in the middle don't really matter. They're just trying to get set up for breaking the second checkpoint. And of course, DistInkt doing everything they can to try and stop that from happening.
For sure. The points are just melting away as the pencil player is able to just kind of march towards the last check quite easily. Unfortunately, they're not able to get any purchase on that final check because of their teammates going down, but they do have a very hefty score to contest to for DistInkt. Poison Cake over here just shirking around, trying to see if somebody's going to slip up and they can make themselves known. Unfortunately, going down before they're able to make something happen. The pencil player is going to be pushed back from the crab tank, and DistInkt is just trying to get them out of their hair. As we can see here, DistInkt is finally able to get some points on the board as they are setting up pretty on the tower. Passion is going to have to be on the back foot now as they are going to be in defensive.
Yeah, Passion right now playing defense right now. DistInkt going to be done with that first checkpoint, but Passion has a pretty solid lead of 29, but you know, not really able to get much work done on that second checkpoint is a bit of an issue for them right now. Right now, they're setting up for defense, though. The slider with the blaster AoE is going to be enough to break that tower. Splashdown going down as well is going to be enough to save this lead here for Passion. 34-29, very, very close, but, you know, no cigar here for DistInkt as Passion holds on this lead, has a good defense here. We are entering the second half of this game, and, you know, it's been pretty hotly contested from both sides. It's just Passion has been coming out a little bit ahead, but DistInkt already back on the offensive, getting back on this tower.
For sure, even though Passion is still in the lead, DistInkt is giving a really good fight in order to keep space. Unfortunately, 3 go down, and it's just leaving the bow with a special, so they are going to have to retreat here, which is giving Passion some space to work with as they hurdle. They had to clear right through that checkpoint. They don't even have a checkpoint under their belt. They're just headed right towards the final checkpoint, which they have a score of 29. We do see the Reef Slider coming out, getting a pick on the only long-range weapon on the side of DistInkt, which is going to be difficult for them to deal with. We do see a crab from Passion getting some purchase here. As we are hurtling towards the final checkpoint, we are going to want to see some people going on top right to make sure that we can really guarantee a win here. However, it's not going to happen as DistInkt is kind of taking control of that spot once more, and we are kind of have to, you know, go back and regroup here.
Yeah, I mean, DistInkt just trying to regroup as best as possible and get back onto the offensive here because they're playing from behind. They don't have this lead, and Passion just kind of is content with sitting back and waiting for DistInkt to overstay, make a mistake. This Dapple trying to get a Zuka pick, but it's going to get picked themselves here a little bit too hasty there. And yeah, this Pen just trying to set up. This Pen just has so much more range than everything DistInkt has that it just commands so much respect. But this Crab Tank as well doing a good job of stopping this approach from DistInkt a little bit, but they're still living, they're still finding these picks, and they're still fighting for this tower. Opposing Crab Tank going to be enough to force this Splash out of position for just a little bit and going to find that pick. And here we go, DistInkt closing in on this lead, just a few points to go. This Pen not able to get charged up, and that's going to be a lead switch here for DistInkt, and they're still working on the second checkpoint.
It was just a lead switch of about 1 point, Pinky. Just 1 point. DistInkt is in the lead now, and now Passion kind of has to... They have to get right into it if they want to make another lead swap happen. They're going to have to really lock in order to make something happen, but they also have to get people out from behind them. They do see a crab out from DistInkt. They're really going to try and solidify the lead that they have, just trying to keep them at an arm's reach as much as possible. We do see the pencil player from Passion try and push up. Unfortunately, getting picked off. Bellyman does get a good double, and we are trying to stabilize our team. Afro is trying to just cancel anything that's happening, and now Passion is back hurdling the tower towards the final checkpoint. Once again, it's not a strong lead, Pinky. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected DistInkt to stay on the tower, but they tried to keep their special, but they're 2 down, they're 3 down. It's just going to be the Splash-O-Matic, and that's going to be an easy lead switch here, right back in favor of Passion. DistInkt put up a great fight in that game number 2, but just wasn't quite able to push the tower far enough and just got staggered a bit too hard on defense to stop the counter push. Passion up 2-0 here in Grand Finals.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat for that entire game. I was like, it's not impossible. It's very easy to actually get the tower to that point because of how easy it is for the tower to march through mid. So it was only a matter of time unless you had a very stable defense system set up. But, you know, with the splashdown and the other specials that they had under their belt, it was only a matter of time for the lead to swap, unfortunately. But good effort from both teams. And I could definitely tell that DistInkt had found their footing in that match. So you know, like you said before, it was probably just a zones thing that we saw in the previous set as well. Maybe zones just isn't their forte, but they do seem to be doing much better at other modes. So we are going to be going into clams next. And so I'm really excited to see how they're working together, how that's going to fruit, what's going to happen, you know? Yeah,
I mean, the unfortunate reality is that Passion is up 2-0 right now. They're on tournament point right now. DistInkt has to win the next 3 games in a row, and that includes a zones map, which has kind of been their pain point here in this gold bracket so far. So they're gonna have to kind of learn to overcome that mental barrier and get it done. But first, you know, they have to make it there. They have to win game 3 on Clamblet Scorch Gorge, and this is not an easy map to score on by any means. That choke point on the ramp is just so incredibly strong, and if you can break through, points can just kind of melt away. And we saw, you know, DistInkt be really strong on Clamblets on Crab Lake, but of course this is a much different ball game here with very different opponents across from them.
For sure. It doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any comp changes on either side. I feel like once you're at this point in the set, it would just be kind of a bad idea to bring out a new weapon, unless you're very confident that you can combat something that's not working. But I think both of the teams here are really confident in their choices. It's just about who's going to be able to outplay one another. We do see Poison Cake in mid here trying to get a quick pick on Afro. Afro is going to have to back up a little bit just to make sure that they stay alive. Since it is only 20 seconds into the match so far, we already see a cooler out. We see a lot of clams on the board so far. And, you know, we're just getting right into it. It's still a very neutral match, just trying to get some purchase on land in mid.
Yeah, I mean, we're just starting off with a classic claimless neutral here. Claims are roughly evenly distributed between both these teams. Of course, the ball's trying to go in favor of the more defensive players on either side to keep that power claim alive for as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the map modes where you're going to see the most claimless neutral just because, again, it's really hard to score. It's really committal to force all those resources, and it's pretty easy to hold on to that defensive point. So I'd imagine we're going to be here for quite a while now.
For sure. I feel like both teams are just going to try and wait for someone else to make a mistake so that they can capitalize on it, especially Passion. I feel like that's what they've been doing. They've been kind of playing it a little bit patient, trying to make sure that they can capitalize on the other team's mistakes. We do see about 2 or 3 specials on the side of Passion with Cooler is out. So that you know what that means. We are going to be able to move forward safely with the knowledge that if we die, we can come back quite quickly. We do see Azuka from the side of Afro getting 1 pick, but not able to prevent the basket from being opened. And we are going to be getting some... We do have a splashdown in our pocket here. We are going to see that cop out, unable to find anything, but it is able to clear out space so that we can continue to keep this basket open. And basket open is it going to be. The Passion is wasting no time, just kind of forcing this basket to stay open.
Yeah, they got below that 60-point threshold, which is always something I like to watch out for at Clamlets. You know, you can't just jump into power clams and get that lead back. You have to really work for it if you are DistInkt. Push is going to be dying there at 53 points, but even still, DistInkt definitely has some work to do if they want to get the lead in this game. And Passion, you know, off to another pretty strong start, and they still have just about half the game to go to get more points on the board.
For sure, we are going to be fighting in the little choke point area. You know, that choke point, the very heavily contested area on this map mode that we all know and love. It just seems like both teams are trying to get some paint on the ground to farm some specials here. We do see Freaky Fella with a crab charge and ready to go at a moment's notice. But we do have to survive these whales here. Crab is coming out, trying to remove DistInkt from top mid here, and we are able to remove them from top mid, allowing Poison to try and get a flank going, unable to make anything happen. Kame is going to come out with a crab of their own to try and displace Passion from mid here. But I mean, there's 2 minutes left, and DistInkt really has to get some points on the board. They're really going to have to kind of force space and force openings to happen here because it doesn't seem like that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been it's been all Passion this whole game, and like you said, they have 2 minutes for DistInkt to really get back into this game. And it's just been, I mean, again, it's just been really rough for them to get really much of anything going on here. And Passion just trying to hold on for as best they can. They have 1 minute 30 seconds left to get this game win in their hands, and this tournament win in their hands. But DistInkt, not to be counted out yet, going to be breaking this basket with their own power claim, and they're going to be starting to score. Tame has 4 clams behind them. They're so close to getting this lead switch. Just 2 clams will do it, but it's not safe to do it yet. But they're jumping at a power claim. Is it far enough? It is. It's going to be a lead switch here for DistInkt, and they're still scoring more clams. 24 is where the lead's going to stand, as they're going to be forced to back up and get more, as the rest of the team is going to be swimming forward. 18 is where the lead currently stands. I'd imagine that's going to be all DistInkt is going to get from this push, but what a push it was.
What a push indeed. That is exactly what DistInkt needed in order to keep themselves in the game and in the tournament. Since this is match point for Passion, we are going to have to see Passion try and get a power clam and a counter push of their own. They are going to need a hefty number of clams in order to make something happen here. It just seems like they kind of have to get back in the kitchen, even though they were done cooking. But now they're like, okay, we have to get back into it. That was a bad analogy, but I'm doing my best here. We are going to, there's 30 seconds left, and there's a lot of clams on the board for Passion. We just really need the specials to make it happen.
Yeah, we need some kind of, we need good special play. We need good coordination in all fronts here because, again, this is a really difficult map to score on. Passion has done it before. Can they do it again, recreate that? Already defensive positions are being held by DistInkt. This Pen player is quite far away, holding onto this power claim, just trying to stay safe and stay alive. Splash is going to go down here. No specials really on the board here for Passion, and just a few seconds left of regular time. 20 seconds of overtime thereafter, and the overtime bells are starting to blare here. Last chance for Passion to get it done in 3. DistInkt trying to hold on and stay alive in this tournament as best as they can.
For sure, Passion does have 2 power clams available in overtime. However, DistInkt has a lot of clams up for themselves. We do see 2 individuals going down, and the splashdown comes out. A Freaky Fella is trying to get a score going, but unfortunately it's not fast enough because the bell rang and they were like, you're out of time. And so it is going to be being 2-1, Passion versus DistInkt.
Yeah, DistInkt is able to get back in the set just a little bit. You know, it's not quite a shutout grand final. It's DistInkt still showing signs of life, you know, and they've got here for a reason, and they're finally locking in just a little bit to get this Game 3 win under their belt. But now, you know, they have a tall task ahead of them if they want to win this tournament. They have to win the next 2 in a row and get the full reverse sweep.
Oh, for sure. I feel like they have a large mountain ahead of them in order in order to make a win. But I do believe that they can. I feel like once you have one win, your mental kind of goes up a little bit. You're like, okay, this is not impossible. We know that we got here for a reason and we can do it. So I'm excited to see them possibly take the whole thing if they are able to win 3 games in a row, but that is a tall task.
Hey, as a wise man once said, if you can win 1, you can win 2. And if you can win 2, you can win 3. And if you can win 3, you can win the set. So...
Who is that wise man that said that?
That is, I believe that's Homemade Waffles, who said that. Young Brandon from Super Smash Bros. Melee. But regardless, this is not Melee, this is Splatoon. We're getting into Game 4 on Rainmaker Humpback, the snowballiest of snowballs of all time, ever seeing the signature Humpback comp coming out here on the side of Passion. DistInkt, though, sticking with their same old style.
For sure, no changes. I do see a heavy edit. Never mind, there is a change, and it's a good change. I'm just kidding. I'm just a heavy edit glazer, if you know me. We are going to be seeing a pretty neutral mid here. Afro does grab the Rainmaker pretty quickly, only 10 seconds in. We already have a Rainmaker grab, but 2 down from the side of Passion. DistInkt is wasting no time, absolutely breaking the first checkpoint already. Only within the first 30 seconds, too. They're here to win.
Yeah, they do not want to be taking any more crap. They want to be winning this tournament as fast as possible. It's dangerous to go alone. You can't just be running up ahead. Afro is forced to just wait a little bit. This red carpet starting to be laid out for them. They're getting more points on the board. 26 is where the lead is going to stand in just the first 45 seconds. But you got to remember, this is Rainmaker Humpback. There's no safe lead unless it is a knockout here. So definitely the game is wide open, but more points are trying to be scored here. Tyre trying to get more credit here, but the edit is able to run this Rainmaker away all the way onto this right side and kind of kickstart a push for almost a checkpoint break here for Passion.
It was just completely clear, except for the bow that was just able to cancel that out. Almost a pretty good push there. We do see Bellyman sharking around as Carbons do, waiting for somebody to step on their little bear trap, trying to get a pick, and they are able to do that. But you know, it's not over until it's over, and you know, even though the Rainmaker's back in mid, it's still anybody's game, despite the hefty lead from DistInkt. Like you said, it's pretty easy to kind of have those points melt away. If it's Rainmaker Humpback, anything can happen. We do see pigs getting plucked, as I like to say. The Dapples does have a special under their belt. We do see the cooler out, so this is Passion's opportunity to get a formal push going.
Absolutely here. Zuka, though, is kind of serving to, put a lot of pressure on the Maker. Is going to help get that pick with that AoE 2-shot here, but Passion quick on the uptake once again, moving forward, but they're going to get called out by that roller before they can make too much progress in the enemy spawn. Poison Cake here holding onto this Maker here, trying to get just good pressure with his Rainmaker shots and trying to clear the area so they can safely move toward the checkpoint, but DistInkt doing a great job of staying alive and still putting on this pressure even from behind this wall.
Oh my goodness, the defensive prowess from DistInkt is quite admirable. It just feels like Poison Cake is not able to move forward whatsoever. Their timer is already down at 30 points, and they haven't really chipped away towards that checkpoint just yet. We are going to try and opt to go to the right side instead to see if it's any safer, but it doesn't seem like it is. Well, actually, we get two picks, and now, unfortunately, the Rainmaker is in a very awkward spot for DistInkt to go and grab. They really are just going to have to run it towards the checkpoint in order to get it out of that little area, but we're not able to get the check, unfortunately. DistInkt's defensive prowess is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, DistInkt's defense has been on another level these past few games, and they're still able to hold onto that checkpoint, which is so much easier said than done on this map. They're going to be resetting this Rainmaker as well, but they're 2 down right now, potentially 3 down from this reslider here, and that's going to be a jump back from Poison Cake. Freaky Fella going to be going for left checkpoint, a rarely seen route here, but regardless, checkpoint is finally going to be broken here for Passion, and they're already moving up so incredibly far. Is that a crab tank in that corner that gets 2? And they're still here, still trying to get this push going, and now they're so incredibly close to this lead. They can practically taste it. They just have to keep on going forward.
Oh,
that's a lead switch here for Passion, and there's still that's a wipe, but that could be it here now.
Oh, hey, I mean, if the what the heck? What the heck just happened?
The left side humpback push is going to come true here for Passione, and they're going to get the tournament win here. SAC Season 10 qualifier number 4 goes to Passion here with a crazy way to end that set.
Wow, I am just shocked that they were able to get the left push going, the fabled left push, as you say. I mean, nobody was there, so why not, right?
I mean, I guess.
Nobody was there, and it worked out, and the crab was in perfect position, and nobody was expecting to go left, and boom, suddenly we're winning, and there's a knockout. Crazy. It's like we said before, you're really never safe on Humpback Rainmaker.
Yeah, I mean, you're not safe till a knockout, and Passion said, we'll just get a knockout. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta dunk the fish twice. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that that's how it's gonna end, but that's the end of the Season 10 qualifiers here for SAC. The only thing left to do is to come back in June for the finale.
For sure. Be sure to stop by on I believe it's June 14th. Stop by for June 14th. You're going to be seeing the SAC finale. You're going to be seeing us commentate once more, and a lot of other fun stuff ahead. Be sure to support your local Splatoon scene.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this was a crazy tournament. Congrats again to Passion for winning this tournament and getting that auto qual, I believe, into that finale. But yeah, that's gonna be all from us. That's gonna be all from this tournament. Thank y'all for watching, whether it was on YouTube or on twitch.tv/underpressuresplatoon. The go-to org of all time. But before we go, Nell, I gotta know, where can we find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Nellfire with a 1.bluesky.social, or you can find me on Twitch at Nellfire. I'm also Nellfire everywhere, basically. But Pinky, where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Blue Sky at brokenpinky.bsky.social. And you can hopefully find me on the mic a little bit more as we enter the summer of Splatoon here. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Shoutouts to Jorian for being the goated streamer, and for all the IPL staff for doing such a good job of, running this tournament while also streaming MomoCon on the main Twitch channel. Just crazy work going on. But with that being said, have yourselves a good day. Take care.
We'll see you soon.